It looks like it hurts a lot. Like, oh, and you like whenever he uses the moves and whatnot, you see like slash marks. And I'm like, I don't see the edge of this weapon he's using. He's just beating people to death. Like
It's got two sharp blades on like the little the key teeth at the end. Those are the two blades right
that's funny. That's funny, man. You know what I love looking at, bro? I love looking at when I love looking at a fake apps, like when they do like the Pokemon apps or the Digimon apps or whatnot, and it'll be like, oh, can gather your monsters and fight evil. It'll be gameplay from a completely separate game. It'll be pictures from a completely separate entity or brand. You're like, oh yeah, I would love to play with Were Greymon. Let's do it. Or Were Garurumon and Were Greymon. Let's go. And you get on there and it's like horrible little slime figures and whatnot. I love it. It's so hilarious to me.
I play this with Pokemon. It's a card-based app. It's called Monster League, and it doesn't have all the Pokemon. It's got maybe like 120 of them, and they're all just like random. Like you got the Gen 1 starters. You got Mewtwo. You got Mew. You got whoever turns into Garchomp. You got the first three legendary birds, like Gen 1 legendaries.
Yeah.
You got Entei. I don't know, it's weird. You got Deoxys and shit. You got all these random Pokemon in there. It's all like, man, why can't it just start with like Gen 1 and then after you get all of them, you can move on to Gen. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how you catch them too. Like you go to the park and you catch them. You only catch like pieces of them, and you collect like 80 pieces of them. Then you can get the guy. It's so weird. And they have like all these different forms. Like they have two different Pikachus. Like they got the Super Pikachu that wears a cape and shit.
Okay.
And he's like way more badass than like the completely mastered Raichu you can get.
Yeah, they just confirmed in one of the Sun and Moon articles I was reading. They just confirmed that the Lucha Pikachu is actually a female. So the Pikachu with the heart tail, the heart tail, that's a female.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, so there are sexes when it comes to Pikachu.
Yeah.
I was like, so because you never knew what Pikachu was. You always said he, but then at the same time, it was like, oh, it's a he, but they don't have sex. They're asexual.
The only ones at first were the Nidorans. Those are the only Pokemon that had male and female forms.
And then after that, they got like a whole bunch.
Yeah.
A whole bunch. They got like these jellyfish that are a king and a queen. I don't know their names, but when I was looking at it, my brother was for a while collecting the books and collecting the manuscripts and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is there's a lot of genders in here that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
Didn't know that they made boy and girl Pokemon, because usually it was just like, oh, they're just friends. I'm like, no, dude, they're getting it in. There's Pokesex happening somewhere in this TV series, and you guys are just not acknowledging it. You're making my childhood awkward.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, how the fuck does all this shit like happen? Digimon made sense, where it's like they just die and like get reborn into eggs or whatever, and Monster Rancher made sense. You just find a mystery disc and you put it in the church, and it fucking spins. You have the fucking holy DJ spinning them discs, and he fucking brings out a Monster Rancher. Dalen, are you in? Hello? 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 Alright, we're having a technical difficulty here right now. I can add Antonio now. Hello? Hello? I love that noise. Hello?
My bad.
Hey, it happened. I got everybody on. And, Zach, I didn't let you know this, but we were recording for probably the past, 8 minutes.
That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, dude, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, man, I want to play this game while I'm doing this. And it just, boop. Oh my God.
It was also at the same time when Dalen was calling in, or calling in to getting into the chat. So, this all happened at the same time.
Well, nice to meet everybody.
You guys here?
Or maybe
not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Are you a Fortnite player?
I'm not. I'm not at all.
Are you against it?
I was going to joke and say I'm a PUBG guy, but I've never played that either.
PUBG's pretty nice. It was way too easy for me. It was way too easy. I was popping people off the entire time. It's so easy to kill people in that game.
Yeah.
And you fight and you're shooting real people. Like, you're shooting actual players.
Yeah.
It was just I'm not really. I've never really been a first person shooter enthusiast, really. And so I was like, I'll give this a shot because I don't have a system at the current moment that plays anything current. And all of a sudden, I'm just playing this game, and I'm like, dude, I'm averaging 30 kills. I'm averaging 30 kills and lasting to the very end. I won a few times, but there's a few times where, I just put my phone down. And I was like, fuck it. I'll see if anybody walks up to me. And they do. You get 3 good shots and you stand still, it's a wrap. Character's done.
The only thing I know about Fortnite is I was at my buddy's house months ago and he was playing it, and I was like, dude, this shit looks cool. That's all I know about it. I really liked the how your pickaxe or whatever is like a umbrella.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Other than that, that's all I know, man. It's cool. Mary Poppins, bitch.
Was Mary Poppins cool? The coolest.
She was cool.
She was. Well, she was until that airplane got her. Y'all seen that episode.
Man, speaking of that, I just seen the first Incredibles. And
what do you mean just seen the first Incredibles?
I just seen the first Incredibles the other night. And I was like, holy shit, dude, all these people dying in airplanes, dude. That is fucking crazy. What is going on in this?
Timone, are you telling me you've never seen Incredibles until the other night?
Yeah.
Shame on you, sir. So much shame. Shame on you. Shame on your cow. Shame on what? It's the most incredible, no pun intended, movie for kids at that time before Big Hero 6 ever.
I haven't seen that either.
Big Hero 6 will make you cry.
That's cool. I like crying at movies.
I might cry at cartoons. Like, I don't know about movies, but you know.
Yeah, you cried.
I'll take her word for it.
I do cry at sad stuff. I do. Not every movie, but I'm a soft person when it comes to mother stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to mother stuff, I don't even bother. I warn people. So I hear that the mom dies in this. Just letting you know, I will cry. Yeah. Just saying, if she does die, I'm gonna cry. I'm Zach, by the way. Nice to meet you. Enjoy your popcorn.
Did you cry when Zordon died in the movie?
When Zordon died, nah, I didn't cry when Zordon died. However, I did cry watching Mars Needs Moms.
What is that?
So there's a Disney movie about a kid. You know, one of those you don't appreciate till it's gone type situations. I don't like my mom. My mom's this. My mom's that.
Yeah.
Spaceship comes, abduct his mom. He sees it as they're abducting his mom, so he somehow generates the speed force and gets on the rocket before it goes into space. He ends up on Mars, saves his mom, and at the very end, a situation occurs, and it is seeming as if she is dead. And I was just in the theater, just bawling my eyes out. And like, you had kids looking, and you had kids looking at me and then crying because they're like, "Why are you crying?" Like, his mom's dead. And they're like, "No, his mom's not dead." So I started.
You caused the chain reaction of sadness.
I caused the chain reaction of sadness, and this dude, it was scary, man. Like she was gone. I swear to this day, she was out of here. She was not surviving. And yeah, mom stuff gets me. I think when the emotion is when it's a genuine heartbreak, that's when that gets to me. Because I was watching Seven Deadly Sins, and that show didn't really it was dope, but it wasn't like cry dope.
Yeah.
And they ran into a situation, and me and my wife were sitting there watching it like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." I had to start crying. I was like, that's sad. It's really fucking sad. This is a kid's show. That's sad. And yeah, I'm emotionally free. I'm okay with that.
Did you ever see the movie Odd Life of Timothy Green?
No, I've never even heard of it. What's it about?
It's a Disney movie, and it's these parents. They adopt a child, but it's a live action, and this child is not a child. This child is a plant. Like he grows like leaves and shit out of his knees and his arms and stuff, and like.
Oh yeah, I seen the commercial for that. I remember that.
Like they try to just treat him like he's a normal kid, and like they take him to school and stuff, and they like I don't know. He ends up not being able to function in the society that he's brought up in because he's not a real human boy. He's a plant, and then they have to and so they bring him into. I forget how it ends. I need to see the ending again, but the beginning and everything was really cool, and how this character was developing and like who he really is and everything, and I don't know. It was really cool. It was all like, man, this is. It was like it felt like one of those old school Disney movies, but with like a modern budget and production quality and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a Disney Channel original, but like done well.
That's funny.
You know.
So have you been?
No,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go on.
I was gonna say, have you caught up on any of the of the newer animes?
No, I was gonna start seeing watching the new stuff with Hunter x Hunter. I did start watching Digimon Tamers.
Ooh, nice,
Hey
nice.
guys,
Hey
hey guys,
Tonio, Tonio, welcome.
I just got in. What's up, guys?
How you doing? Tonio, meet Zach.
Doing
Zach,
good.
Tonio.
Nice to
Congrats,
meet you,
nice
Sir
to meet you.
Tonio.
Nice to meet you, man. I hear that you are just as big of an anime buff as I am. So nice to meet
Just
you.
to be
One
nice
Piece,
to meet you.
One Piece, like, for sure. We can let the One Piece shit get started until Dalen can jump in. Cause
Oh, let's go.
Once Dalen
Okay.
jumps in, we can just
Let's
talk
get
shit
it.
about Henry.
So I don't know anybody who knows this, but Skechers has a franchise brand with One Piece that just took off as of recently, and they have the most amazing selection of shoes based off of Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper. The only downside is if you are a man with a size 11 foot or higher, you cannot wear the shoe. The shoe only goes up to size 10 in men's, and that makes me sad.
I'm good. I think you're good.
That
too,
makes me happy because I'm a size 8, so like I'm right in there.
I had to put the whole thing in there too.
Dude, I can't get any. I have so many people on a daily who tag me in random One Piece things, and a whole bunch of them for like 2 weeks are tagging me with these shoes. And I'm like, I can't. I know about them, and you guys are just really hurting my heart because I can't have these things.
Oh man, they look cool.
They are cool, man. I like I specifically like Zoro's.
Yeah,
I think like
this is Zoro's right here.
the color
Green ones,
pattern
right?
is, yeah, the color pattern is so. It's like they're all simple, but that one just seems more likable and is more appealing to me. It's definitely more appealing. I know a lot of people go towards Luffy's because red is a more appealing color, and it's like red, blue,
Luffy's are
yellow,
okay.
and black.
Hey, I got them up right here on the Google Images. The Luffy's are okay. I kind of like what's that black one in the back?
Sanji.
Yeah, I kind of like those.
And then Chopper's is pink.
Choppers and Nami's are about the same. I'd probably rather buy my girlfriend Choppers though. Those are a little cuter. But Zoro's are definitely the best.
So, Tonio, have you been? Do you keep up with the manga?
I just started like keeping up with the manga, so I'm like I'm behind. I'm on like chapter 860, but like I follow like loads of like theorists and everything that like are way up to date, so like I know what's happening ahead of what I'm reading because I'm like I want to know so bad. So if like you talk like if you talk like about like from like chapters 890 to like 909, what was it, 903, the recent one?
I think
or was it 906?
Yeah, 906 is the recent one.
Yeah, 906 is the most recent one. Like, I think I can keep up to at least like chapter 904.
Beautiful, beautiful. I won't give too many things away. I'm one. That's like my favorite. That is my favorite anime. Period. I can argue it for forever. As Timone knows, I can argue it forever.
Oh, that's like my top two. I can't pick like my favorite because it's between that one and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ooh,
that's a really nice one. That is a nice one.
I never wanted to get into Yu Yu Hakusho when it was new, and I was a subscriber to Shonen Jump and shit back then, and they sent me a little fucking DVD, or it was a CD-ROM. It wasn't even a DVD. It was a CD-ROM. You play it, you put it on your computer, and you could watch the first 2 episodes. And I watched them. I'm like, this is okay, but I don't know if I can get into it. And then I watched it in my 20s, and I was like, holy shit, why didn't I watch this when it was new?
We have in my group of friends, we have a little joke that we make fun of with Kurama, because one of the first I want to say it was an episode because I don't think it was a movie. I don't even know if Yu Yu Hakusho has movies, but either or, it was this episode or this scene where Kurama and Urameshi were fighting. They were fighting some demon, and the demon hit Kurama so hard that he was rolling sideways on the wall. So it wasn't, it was
that one.
Oh God, that is by far the funniest thing I have ever seen. Because I never heard. I still to this day have yet to see somebody get hit like that. Like he got
You're
hit
right.
so hard that he was sideways. That's different, dog. That's
Rolling on a he was rolling on a wall. He wasn't even rolling on the floor. He was rolling on a wall.
hilarious.
Like-
I love it. I love it. So
I'm excited for the new OVA for it though. The
For
OVA
you,
that they're coming.
There's a new OVA
Yeah, the new one
coming
that
out for damn.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard about it, but I didn't see any. I haven't. I thought it was just rumor.
Hey,
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, they've said that they're gonna do it.
Oh, that'd be that definitely sparked some old memories.
quick question. Last night, did anybody watch the first episode of Super Dragon Ball Heroes?
I did. I was very shocked in how short it was.
I lacked on it. I didn't get to watch it yet.
You can't find a dubbed or a subbed version of it. It's all raw, so you just gotta guess what they're saying. But you kind of can because the context, whatever.
Oh, I watched the subbed one.
Really, I couldn't find one.
Oh, I'll send you the
I
link.
put it away.
Alright,
Stop
sweet.
ringing.
Cause I watched the whole 7 minutes or whatever raw, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck?
No, it was definitely a little. Like I was very disappointed in how short it was. It's not even like a full episode. It's like a YouTube skit.
Yeah, it was definitely underwhelming, especially with the Goku versus Goku. When you had Xeno Goku versus like our current timeline Goku, like that was that fight was completely underwhelming, but we'll probably get more of it. It was really cool to see Super Saiyan 4 going against Super Saiyan Blue. That was
Yeah. So who do you think would win in that fight? If we're being 100% honest, who do you think wins? Do you think Blue wins, or do you think do you think Blue wins, or do you think 4 wins?
I think 4 is a more. I think it's a cooler, or I don't know if it's a more powerful transformation, but it's definitely something that I think is essential to mastering or just becoming your true self. Because the Super Saiyan 4 is you have to have all of you, like everyone in Universe 6. Cannot go Super Saiyan 4 because they don't have tails anymore. They've been cutting them off at birth so much that they don't even have tails anymore. And so like it's like a way of going back to your roots and like rediscovering who you really are. So you get your tail back, you master Super Saiyan Izaru, and then you get fucking Super Saiyan 4. Like it's like a super awesome process. But for strength and everything, I don't know. Xeno Goku has probably gone through a lot different shit than this normal Goku that we're used to. So, but I don't know, man. I want to go with 4. I really do want to go with 4.
I want to go with 4 because I believe. So my things were that. So all the Super Saiyan transformations are essentially just multipliers, right?
Yeah.
Well, with Super Saiyan Blue, here's how I can rank it. Super Saiyan Blue is its own base form. It's its own is its own actual form, so it's not described as a multiplier.
No,
like
it's
how
a
Super Saiyan-
multiplier off of God form.
Okay, well, yeah, so it's a multiplier off of God form, but this is what I was this is what I meant. I mean, Krillin can keep up with Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah.
I think like 2 people could keep up with Super Saiyan 4, and one of them was the bad guy.
Yeah, they had.
And obviously not for long.
I wouldn't say Krillin could keep up with Super Saiyan Blue. I think they're just like they were slowing down for him.
I don't know. In the episode, it definitely seemed like he was holding his own.
When he did
because
that 100
even
times solar flare, he had an edge on Goku for a split second.
right, but then also look at. I guess what I'm saying is when you look at Super Saiyan Blue, Android 18 was able to keep up with 17 was able to keep up with Super Saiyan Blue. Majin Blue was able to work Goku with Super Saiyan Blue. Like Krillin.
But that's because they all got power-ups. Like 18 and 17 are said to be as strong as Super Saiyan Blue because of like the power-ups that they were given.
Right.
Gohan is barely able to keep up with it. Let's see. And then that's about it. Like those are. Oh, and also, Frieza.
What I think
Frieza's able to keep up with it.
Get at is 17, 18, Majin Buu are leagues above stronger than Krillin, but then Krillin was still able to hold his own.
Like Krillin was still seen as a threat to Goku, even though he was leaps and bounds supposedly stronger.
That's exciting, man.
Right?
Dragon Ball Z is not the most consistent in writing.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all. But that's the reason. That's why I was saying, like, with 4, with 4, it was there was no contest. It wasn't an argument. With 4, it was an automatic. Okay, now I have to do the absolute most to make sure you stop moving, rather than let's see what you can do in this form. It was okay. You've pissed me off, and we're gonna end this episode now. I always with 4. There's so many questionable powers that come with 4. Like I'm pretty sure my man's was warping reality at some points. I gotta find the clips real quick. Now I'm looking on YouTube right now.
Kamehameha? Was it the Big Bang Kamehameha? That one, yeah, that one is ridiculous.
I was like, there's a lot of questionable things with 4, and with Blue, it was kind of like, Vegeta did it better.
Oh yeah, and Vegeta has a better Blue form now than Goku does.
Yeah,
so that's
he's got
good.
that Super Vegeta Blue shit going on, dude. Like,
I like to call it Royal Blue. I think that's a very fitting thing.
Royal Blue. Because
he's the king of all Saiyans now?
Prince of all fucking 3 Saiyans.
You know, what's the weird thing that I don't understand? Why do we still call him the Prince of all Saiyans if his dad is dead? He should be the king of all Saiyans now.
Nobody was around to give him the promote him the title of king, so he's still Prince.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. Because I had the exact same question. Like, that makes no sense. Stop calling yourself the Prince. You're like 50 years old.
Like at this point, like it should just be an honorary title to be the fucking king of all Saiyans. He's been the prince for like goddamn 40 years already.
Maybe King Sadala will promote him to Universe 7 King if they eventually go that route.
That would be fun. That'd be fun to see him finally, like he would stop being. Oh snap! You know what I was saying would be dope. I was saying it'd be dope if he stopped calling himself the Prince of all Saiyans, and then Trunks started calling himself the Prince of all Saiyans. Like it would make sense, and it would be cool. Like it'd be like Trunks was finally gaining some like confidence and cockiness. Like I love Vegeta's arrogance. Like his arrogance is by far one of the best sources of pride in all of anime.
You know what would be great?
Hold on, Antonio. I liked
All right.
the dynamic of Kid Trunks between Future Trunks when like Kid Trunks was like punking the shit out of Future Trunks. He's all like, "Bitch, you don't even know how it is to be strong," and all that. And then like it really like you could see the
I was just about
difference
to
of
say
a
something
Trunks
about
being
that.
raised with a dad and a Trunks raised without a dad. Future Trunks acts like a bitch. Like almost all the time.
I was just about to say something about that. Like I was about to say what I would love to see is like Trunks like if Trunks just like starts saying, "I'm the Prince of all Saiyans now," and then Future Trunks just comes in and bitch slaps him and was like, "Bitch, that's me. Fuck you." That would be such a great moment.
Think that you're the Prince of all Saiyans now. What? Start smacking him around.
And then Trunks just in, "Father!"
I still remember an episode where Vegeta finds out about them being able to turn into Super Saiyans. It was like, all right, well, if you can land a hit on me, I'll take you to the park. Really? And he gets like all serious and he lands a hit on him and Vegeta just socks the shit out of this kid. Like, you didn't say you're going to hit back. Well, I didn't expect you to hit me that hard.
Yeah.
Let's go to the park.
Zach, did you watch that Dragon Ball Raunch and Raditz episode 1?
I didn't watch it, but I did read it a while back.
So there's this part in there where Vegeta's training and like Trunks and shit walks in on him and then Vegeta fucking smacks him and like Raunch and Goten, they're all like, "What the fuck, dude? How can you hit your own son?" And then Vegeta's all like, "Man, you should have been able to see that coming." You know, like this Vegeta in this version of Dragon Ball, he's like an old school Vegeta, but like with the family and shit now. And he's still like a hard ass, whatever, because he hates Raditz, and Raditz is so much stronger than him now. And I don't know.
And that's funny because they hint at the fact that how strong Raditz is, but he still can't go Super Saiyan.
No,
like he can't.
In this shit, he can. Him and Goku fuse. They use they do the fusion dance and they fuse and they're Super Saiyan 3 and all this other shit. He even makes fun of Goku.
That's because of Goku.
He makes fun of Goku for being in Super Saiyan 3. He's like, that hairstyle's ridiculous. And then they show him walking off with the exact same hair, but just not Super Saiyan.
Oh man! So you guys, are you guys one My Hero Academia people?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Oh, incredible! We just finished the the latest episode before you guys came in. I mean, before we got onto the show.
Oh yeah, I finished that like a few hours ago.
Is that episode 12?
No, that's like episode 20 something.
Isn't it like 51? Like for season 3? Like out of all the episodes?
I thought it was episode 12. I watched 11 last week. I went to go watch 12 last night, and they said the dub.
Yeah, if you go in that order,
dub isn't coming up until next week.
Oh, I don't watch dub. I watch sub.
I do.
Same here. I prefer.
I have no idea. So. Of what I can't even remember what season 312 was.
The last one, I think it was.
They're going into the UA fucking dorms now.
Yeah, in the later one, yeah.
Yeah, this would be episode 51 of all 3 seasons.
All right, I'll check out. Oh man, I might just have to check it out subbed. It'll throw me off because all the voice actors. I won't be used to the voice actors, but I'll check it out since I need my fix.
But the sub voice actors are better than the dub voice actors.
The dub is actually really good, dude. You got
you're telling me
you got Chris Sabat doing All Might, dude. You got fucking I don't know. You got a good cast, dude. Fucking Bakugo has no chill at all.
I don't like Bakugo's English voice actor.
Todoroki.
I actually don't know. I guess I haven't watched it in English yet. The only episode I've watched in English is the actual Plus Ultra Punch towards Nomu. I watch that in English all the time because it doesn't really matter. I just like Zoro's voice.
Clips.
Oh man, you could watch the. Hello.
Yeah, I'm still.
All right, you can watch like almost any of the dynamic scenes and pretty much any anime, fucking subs or dubs, fucking like any sort of I don't want to get too much into this because we still got to do part 2 of our My Hero versus Boruto. We'll do that one next week, and
Boruto.
Oh, My Hero.
Well, Antonio, if you're free, I want you to be able to come in on that one too, to be the judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, no, like this is how I feel about My Hero Academia. It is the best battle anime of its generation. Like no other one compares to it.
Yes.
Dude, I said it has potential to be the new shonen standard, like how Dragon Ball, like original Dragon Ball, was the new shonen standard for like almost 20 years. Now I think My Hero has what it takes to be the next new shonen standard of quality of storytelling.
And the story writing is actually consistent in it, unlike Dragon Ball.
There's a dude, I've been reading it for years now, and the story is actually better than anything I've read. It's incredibly consistent. It's 100% emotional. It allows you to understand the character without having to do a complete backstory on them. Like you don't have to go through 15 episodes of how they grew up and why they were like this. It's like how did Todoroki get that scar? His mom got mad one day and threw hot water on him. Oh shit, that's fucked up. Why did he do that? Then you find out like a few episodes later, oh, his dad was a shit dad and drove her fucking nuts. And it's like you're getting it in spurts because you still have to enjoy the main story, and they explain things bit by bit. That's what that's with One Piece. One Piece will stop the entire fucking motion to let you know, hey, you need to understand everything about this character before we even go further. And it'll be right as soon as someone's throwing a punch. You'll never have seen this move before. You've never even seen the characters before. Like, oh my God, what's about to happen? 20 years ago. On the far
But I actually like
what just happened? Where did everybody go? Why am I looking at Sanji as a child?
Though.
Huh?
One Piece does the backstories well though. Like
they do. No, they do.
They do it so fucking well.
They make sure that you never have to go back there again. They do. Yeah.
You know
they make sure everything is.
They gave us 2 or 3 episodes of a Big Mom backstory, character I did not give a shit about, but I was all like, but then I actually felt for her after these fucking 2 or 3 episodes of backstory for her. I was like, God damn, dude.
Yeah.
They make you give a shit about a dude that fucking wears a diaper, you know, like come on, like this shit is crazy. And
for those who are up to date, huh?
Oh, sorry. You go ahead first.
Oh, sorry. For those who are up to date with the manga and those who are not, I'm not gonna spoil it for those who are not up to date with the manga in One Piece. But the foreshadowing in One Piece is incredible.
And it's got to.
It backs up the story so well. But still, they do stop they do stop the entire flow of things to showcase a story that you on the outside looking in weren't really caring for.
Yeah.
Like because they explain so much of the characters all the time. And like with My Hero, because they don't shine, they're still, I think they have a class of 16, 17 kids. You know the backstories about 5 of them.
Yeah. And then
it's
there's
not
like
for
one
like.
class. There's class B, and there's probably a class C and D and shit that we don't know about.
Oh no, there's a class
Class
B, but then
one?
there's like general class, and then there's business class, and then there's the tech class, and like you have these characters that you don't need to know about yet, and when you do need to know about them, you're like, okay, well, here's this. This is why this is happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna get back to it now. Well, this is why this has happened. We're gonna continue. They don't. It's so pleasurable because it's in the right amount.
One
of
Piece kind of
information.
started like that, and then once you figured out that the world is so big and so obscure, then once you got familiar enough with what the hell's going on, that's when they started throwing in, shoehorning all this other, like, and
Yeah.
then this happened like so many years ago to fill you in on what we told you about like 40 episodes ago, and like.
Mhm. Remember that episode that aired 7 years ago? This is explaining that episode. Like, oh, like with this whole cake arc, with knowing Sanji's backstory, it explains so, and we've talked about this on other episodes. It explains so many other situations that the crew has been that has affected Sanji, and you're like, oh, this could be the reason why. And then to find out, like, oh, this is actually the reason why I was talking out of my ass.
Yeah.
And the same thing that I'm excited for this Wano arc, because they're gonna it's very obvious that it's gonna be a Zoro heavy thing. So to even know a remote portion of what could possibly be going on in that,
Oh,
Joy
there's
Boy
actually a
Theories
theory
has
on
rumors
that.
he's part of the Wano tribe.
Yeah. The guy that he fought. What's the name of the Shadows guy? The guy that he fought. The
Mihawk.
Ryunosuke? No. The guy that he took the sword from, the dead guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Ryuma.
Yeah, Ryuma. There's a theory that that's his grandfather.
Yeah, that could very well be. I mean, the character, he's based off of Ryuma was based off of the first epic that Oda Sensei made called Wanted, and his name was Ryuma, and he looked exactly like Zoro.
Like Zoro. Yeah, they look exactly like. The only difference is Zoro has green fucking hair, and that dude had a top knot. That's like literally the only difference.
And Zoro was traveling from village to village on an unknown island that he was not from. So I mean, 100%. I mean, we've seen like so many characters in One Piece get dropped off by their parents. There would be like pirates sailing the seas or villagers and travelers, and the parents are just like, you know what? Fuck this kid. Go away.
Dude,
and they leave.
That's the world of Rolling Stones, man.
Man, they did that with they didn't really do that with Sanji. Sanji ran away and Judge was like, yeah, that's probably best for everybody if you just leave. Don't tell me.
He was like, no, but he told them, fuck you, don't even take my name when you leave.
Yeah.
Just don't tell nobody I'm your dad. But like they did that with Antonio, my favorite character of all time is Frankie. It's my favorite character from the moment I saw him to now. Always been my favorite character. I don't think they give him enough airtime. I just want him to do shit. His parents, for those who don't remember his story, he was like 13 when 13 or 12. And his parents came to Water 7 and just threw him at the junkyard and sailed off. Like he knew who his parents was. He knew what they looked like and everything. They just tossed him aside. And apparently, same thing happened with a Big Mom. That episode aired. I didn't know. Reading the manga is a little bit less informative than when you watch the anime, because obviously they animate more and they talk a lot more. Yeah. So in the manga, that entire backstory just seemed random because you weren't getting the full aspect. You weren't getting the full story of anything of Big Mom. If you go to the manga right now, it shows parents dropping her off, telling her to wait here. and then doesn't show the parents sailing back. It just, they just don't. They're just not there. And then it goes to Mother Carmel. It explains a little bit of what happened with the orphans and whatnot. It shows the deal that she made. Then it shows them having the birthday dinner and all that. The thing that happened in Elbaf with the elder. And then it goes back to the story. So like when me and Wiener over here were having the conversation in one of the old shows. I'm like, I was completely taken aback when I was watching the episode because I'm like, yo, this is brand new information to me. I have no idea what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
Why? So, and he's pointing out things. I'm like, yo, that makes fucking sense. None of this was told to me. So, and I guess that's the part. That's one of the other things I like about My Hero, because when I read it, a lot of people in many, many forms of media, the book and the show or the movie are almost never on point similar. They're never accurate to each other.
That's why I love manga and anime, because they tried to be as close as they can or whatever.
And
but then also that's also why I love the difference between books and movies and shit, because I like to see like, oh, what can they do different? What could be their spin on it?
Mm-hmm.
I like them both, and they're in different ways.
And it's definitely dope. But that's what I'm saying. Like My Hero, like I said, I've been reading it for years. I've been watching it for less than that, obviously. But I watched the very first premiere and everything about it, and it hasn't strayed away. It hasn't strayed away. There hasn't been anything that they've done different is an OVA.
Mm-hmm. So what's crazy too is that they improved on the artwork on the anime.
Oh yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Like they improved so much, which is crazy.
And they show you they show you the physical maturity and the physical growth of the characters. My wife does not like My Hero Academia whatsoever. She knows that I love it. Yeah. That's about it. And she looked at it, and she watches the episode with me every Sunday. But she's not like, but she's not interested as she is in One Piece. She's a One Piece fan too. And she was watching the intro today. She was like, wow, did Deco get older? I'm like, well, yeah, technically, with every day passing. He goes, but he looks bigger. So I look it up and like, yo, he's actually significantly bigger from when the show
gotten taller.
started. And that's dope, though. Like, come on, that's ill. I don't know too many other besides Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Like, that's the only show that I've seen where the character got older and taller. Everybody else just kind of like grew hair or something.
Gohan.
No, Goku. That motherfucker
did in
grew.
Dragon Ball, and then Gohan did. We saw him from 4 years old to a fucking grown married man with a family.
I guess, yeah. I'll give you guys that.
He looked like Goku looked like he was like 2-3 feet tall, and then all of a sudden he was like a 6-foot giant compared to everybody, and everyone was just wondering like, what the fuck happened to Goku?
He had a growth spurt.
They even did that. Yeah, that growth spurt was crazy. No one should have that big of a growth spurt. Because like even Baba was like, "You're not Goku."
Mm-hmm.
But
let's see.
Speaking of characters aging and shit, dude, I am definitely looking forward to seeing all this progression going on in Boruto. Like, it's already started. We're about done with the Chunin exam arc. They took a week break. They took a week-long break. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Boruto.
They have an episode out right now, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I have. It was okay. It was after the attack. It was after the attack, and then Mitsuki's in the hospital because they took his chakra with that fish hook, and then Boruto thinks that Naruto died, but then he finds out from Sasuke that he's all like, "Nah, dude, he's still around, dude, and you're gonna help me bring him back." And he's all like, "All right, bet." And then all the other Kage come into fucking Boruto's bedroom, all like, "Nah, we're going too." And then Boruto's like, "Well, I guess I'm not needed." And then Sasuke's like, "What are you doing, bitch? Come on." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And then all the other Kage are
But
like,
what
"Yeah,
can-
dude, are you sure?" And he's all like, "This motherfucker's my pupil, and he's fucking Naruto's son. He's definitely coming. He's legit." And then
No, he's not. He ain't shit.
he kind of it. No, because Sasuke knows the key to defeat the one that can absorb jutsus. So like he knows that Boruto's fucking hidden Rasengan is the key, and so he's like, that's what we need him to fucking do it. You know, like that's the only move that can stop him. That hidden Rasengan looks like it disappears, but it doesn't.
Didn't Sasuke just Amaterasu him like?
No,
Like,
dude,
right to his
because
fucking-
that Renegon can eat it.
Yeah, they have.
Why did
Yeah,
he
they
just-
have that cheat ability.
That Renegon can eat anything, dude. It can eat it can eat the Amaterasu fire. It can eat anything, dude. Like,
If the user can see it, it can suck it up.
yeah,
That's
so
the
that's
cheat.
why his.
that's and
Yeah.
And Sasuke
He's like,
knows
no one
that
can see your
Boruto's
Rasengan.
hidden Rasengan's the key.
Boo.
It's in the movie. It's in the movie. It's in the.
I know.
freaking
I
manga.
saw the movie.
It's in
Boo
the,
That's why I
this
wanted
show.
Naruto. That's why I wanted Naruto. I wanted Naruto to smack the shit out of Boruto when he found out he was using the ninja tool.
Man, you know?
yeah.
No, you don't just. Oh, you're disqualified.
And then here's
Alright,
the
beat the
fucked
hell
up
out of
part.
him.
He made him feel like a
Here's
bitch,
the
though,
fucked
dude.
up
He took
part.
his headband, he embarrassed him in front of everybody, dude. He's all like, "Nah, dude, you don't have what it takes. Fuck off. You're not my
Here's
son." You know,
Here's
like,
the thing. Sarada and Sasuke fucking knew. And then like Sarada acted like surprised, like, you were wearing a ninja tool? Like, bitch, you saw it. When you were hiding in the trees, you saw that shit. You saw that he was wearing it.
and
And then like Sasuke
and she saw him use it.
Sasuke noticed
She
it.
saw him use
And,
it
like,
when
he
they were
didn't say
both.
shit.
She saw him use it when they were both fucking captured by Shinky when he had the sand grip on him. Like she
Yep.
saw him fucking bust that shit out and use it, dude. Like,
No, I just got done having one of these fits today, and I'm explaining to you guys why I had a similar fit to what you guys are talking about.
all right.
So, for those who aren't up to, is it all right if I speak on My Hero Academia? Is it all right? I could keep that to myself if no one wants anything spoiled.
Speak on whatever you want.
No. I'm good. You can keep going.
Okay. So for those who don't know, in My Hero Academia, there's a cool-ass lazy teacher named Aizawa.
One of my favorites.
Aizawa's quirk, or superpower as we say, is he can cancel out the cerebral gland in the brain that activates the quirk of the said person that he's looking at. As long as he looks at them and doesn't blink, he can cancel out their quirk. Okay? So these villains captured this boy named Bakugo, who can pretty much use his sweat as nitroglycerin. Some kids got together of the main cast and was like, hey, we're going to go save Bakugo because that's what we need to do. He's one of our friends. Mind you, all these other heroes are there. They're this big elaborate plan. They're going to take out this league of villains. And I'm sitting there, I remember reading it. I'm like, okay, shit's about to get real. I'm going to see, immediately in your head when you think of like Shonen Jump altercations, you're like, the main character is clearly going to do something he ain't never done before. So I'm thinking that Deku is going to be the one to fight. No, it's All Might. This is what pisses me off. All these other heroes, which are good in their aspects, were there and they were helping fight. Now, All Might's...
Hold on. They're not all... What the fuck does Best Genus do?
He can control thread. He can control thread of any clothing.
All right, go on, continue.
So, but you heard what I just said, right? He can control thread of clothing.
Yeah.
Okay, he can't cancel out anybody's fucking superpower and make them just a normal ass person. He can control clothes.
Yeah.
So when they fight All Might's arch nemesis, the guy who literally can suck quirks out of people and keep them for himself,
Yeah.
and to no limit, there's no limit of what he can do to that.
He started looking like fucking Tetsuo and shit, dude. Like, I was like, what
Yes.
the fuck?
So when you have that guy, 7 other of his followers who are all pretty badass in their retrospect, even the little weird blood girl who likes to stab people. I'm very up to date with in the manga. That actually becomes you find out what her ability is, and it's way worth it.
Wait, I have a feeling I know what it is. Is it that she can transform into the people that she takes the blood from?
Yes.
Yes. Fucking knew it. As soon as I saw her taking blood.
Yes, that's just it's just weird, but it's like, okay, that's pretty neat. So here's my thing. They berated these kids and said that you 5 kids on top of the other 7 who knew about this plan to save Bakugo, I could expel all of you. This is the guy who can erase quirks saying this.
Yeah.
I should expel all of you because you guys did something unlawful, and
you should be reprimanded for your unethical behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's my shit. This blew my fucking mind. So they are saying that they would have, if the situation with All Might didn't happen, that they would have been expelled. But not only did they save the kid that nobody else apparently could fucking do, there's like 18 pro heroes there, and none of them can save the fucking kid who is keeping everybody from touching him because he can fucking explode, and no one wants to fucking explode.
Yeah.
These guys saved him without lifting a finger. They were just flying in the air and said, grab on, and he grabbed on. He did all of the work. He did all of the work, and All Might was getting worked because he can't have all his strength. He he did the last thing, blah, 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 and, United States of Smash. Pretty glorious ass moment.
Fuck yeah.
So, you guys, why wasn't the guy who can fucking erase quirks not on the front line? If he looks at the main character who has if he looks at the main bad guy who can suck up quirks and just stares at his ass and he can't use none of the fucking quirks that he just stole, it would be a way easier fight than and Aizen can fight.
It would be a one punch man to a fucking boom, man. Just a one hitter quitter.
So it's like, are you mad at me because you don't know how to do your job, or are you upset that you have one of the most OP abilities and these fucking kids showed you up? Like, it was mind baffling. I'm sitting here throwing a temper tantrum because I'm like, why are you upset? You should have been there. I should expel you from the school because you ain't show up. You were supposed to be there. It's my student. Bitch, where the fuck was you at? Because everybody else was saving your student. You should have been out there. Like, it just drove me. It drove me nuts. It drove me absolutely.
They wanted the physically superior heroes. That's why, and out of all of them, compared to all of them, he's considered more average.
I mean, yeah, he's considered average, but if he stares at the person that he's looking at, they're average too.
I know, I get it. I know. It makes a lot of sense. Like
he's got.
I have muscle. I know kung fu. Like you. When have you ever seen? Do you think Brock Lesnar could beat up Bruce Lee?
Probably not.
Exactly. My man's doing backflips and launching off of people's faces and whatnot, and his only ability is to make them as normal as he is.
He's got that scarf and shit, dude. That he can do basically whatever he wants with.
It's a ninja. It's a ninja who can hit really, really hard. And like that's what bothered me. It was like you can make everybody as normal as you.
He's the
with just
Kakashi of the series. Like he's fucking like you see that he's really badass, but he never really does anything badass. That is the Kakashi.
He can only do it for 20 seconds because he has dry eyes, and he has to put on those eye drops. That's what made me laugh. The fact that he had to put on fucking eye drops.
Because he stresses himself too much. You would think that he would like have developed like a technique, like doing like a staring contest. You'd be surprised how long you go without blinking until you realize that you ain't been blinking.
I'm surprised his goggles don't have some sort of this like some like automatic little like saline mist that can or whatever that'd
be pretty dope.
Yeah, so he.
That'd be but he would have to blink at one point.
Huh?
He would have to blink in order for the saline to work all the way.
That's true.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
So like, regardless, he would have to blink.
Damn it, Timone! You fucked up your own theory.
He didn't fuck up his own theory. I fucked it up.
No, but either way, he still has to blink. But like when he saw in that big fight at the school, like each time he blinked, he blinked. He had less time, or whatever. The saline would keep him.
No, it's because the longer he kept using it, the less time he had.
Yeah, the longer he kept using it, the less time he had. So every time he blinked, he basically had less time. So with the goggles and the saline, whatever shit, he'd still have the same amount of time to do all his shit or whatever, So
yeah,
What? You just completely cut out on my end.
Yeah, the same here. Sound like a real dope beatbox.
Antonio.
Yeah?
All right, repeat it. Repeat what you said.
All right.
Read that one more time.
All right. Think of it as like All Might using his buff form. Like the more he uses it, the less he can use it later on. That's basically what happened to him.
Yeah. Okay.
So like the saline bath and everything won't work because if he uses it for like a prolonged period, it's still gonna have the same after effect.
I have beef with the whole All Might fucking form, anyways, dude. If motherfucker did not have a quirk, or he was quirkless or whatever, and then he was inherited All for One. And then when he uses it, he becomes like this suit. Like that shit doesn't happen to Deku, and Deku's almost got the shit mastered. Like
no, Deku can only use up to 5%. He doesn't have shit mastered.
But he doesn't turn into when he's using it. He doesn't go strong might or what He doesn't go fucking.
Yeah, because he's still trying to only work the. It's because I
think All Might had a quirk that he did not know about. He had a hidden quirk that enabled him to turn into this strong form or whatever, and then when he uses the All for One, that it just makes him.
I agree.
Makes him able to fucking maintain it or whatever, because Deku had to work his ass off to be able to use this shit. And when you look at when you see All Might in his base form, dude's a fucking twig. Dude is dude has no, and you even see him in the past when he's talking to the former All for One, when he's talking to her, and before she when she's giving it to him or whatever, and
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I think he had this hidden quirk that he didn't know about that helped, and then when he was inherited the All for One, it helped him enable that gift and also how to use the quirk or whatever better. I'm not explaining it right, but
I
Zach,
got you,
I
man.
don't even
Because
know what I'm saying.
there's a theory. There's a theory that
I
they
get
said
you.
that. Go ahead.
All right, so now that you're done, I can prove you wrong. Here's the thing: All Might is the 8th generation of that quirk, and it goes. So it is it really like difficult to understand that it could have been someone from one of the 8 generations that had that quirk, and then his predecessor. We never got to see her fight, so we don't know if she used that quirk or not. And then he said that he was quirkless, so we can just go ahead and assume that yeah, he was quirkless, but he gained like we don't even know that everything of what All for One has. It's probably just those two because they said it's a collection of multiple quirks that morphed into one that became what he has now. So
Okay.
would it be hard to assume that it was just the multitude of quirks and like that he learned how to use them all together? And just Deku doesn't yet. Like all that he's able to use so far is the strength increase, and that's it. And that's why
It's definitely not a proving wrong. It's theory versus theory, and I can buy that one totally 100%, and I can buy the other one 100%. Man, it's all just like
It's actually in the story. It's only a power up quirk. It's just with each passing it gets stronger. And there's actually a theory going around saying that they say 80% of the world has a quirk, 20% is quirkless. However,
I
the
don't
guy
buy that
who
either because you still see all these you see more regular people than you see heroes or people using their quirks.
well, that's because not everybody has a cool quirk.
Yeah, sometimes the quirks are just like you look like a fucking you're like deformed
Yeah.
or whatever. But
and that's what the thing is saying, because a lot of quirks, when they're not physical mutations, they're genuinely something that has to happen. The guy who originally had All for One was the brother of the guy who originally had One for All.
Yep.
He was deemed quirkless, but his actual quirk was to pass the quirk. His ability was to pass his quirk, but he had to be given a quirk to pass. He had nothing to pass. Yeah. So he seemed quirkless. So I personally believe that one of the things that they brought up is that Gran Torino had actually mentioned that he knew the person who had All Might. He knew the person who had All for One prior to the predecessor.
Yeah.
And that guy, he was like, everyone's had to work hard, and he specifically mentions that Toshinori had a just genuine. He was just. I was just better at it. I just had a genuine thing for it.
Yeah.
I believe he may have had an amplifier quirk. Like, because he's the only he is the only person who can go into a different form, just from what side characters have been saying. Old characters mention that he can't hold that form. Now, All for One is completely gone from his body, but he can still go into that form. So if that form was All for One, by their logic, he shouldn't be able to transform into that muscular form. So maybe his quirk, because he didn't really have power, he was just a really badass American Japanese kid. Maybe when he got All for One, it activated the dormant quirk up inside him.
But the thing is that inflating quirk can it should be able to go to Deku too, because like even All Might said, if I would have given it to someone with quirks, it would have their quirk and One for All would amplified. So quirks, multiple quirks can be given to one person. Like it's almost the same as One for All. I mean, sorry, One for All, where like he just like takes all the quirks that he wants, but instead of that way, it's here I'm giving you my quirks on top of your quirks, and then you can pass it on too later on. So like they've proven that not to be true, because the guy that he was going to give his ability to, he would not be able to pass that quirk on because he was born with that quirk. You can only pass the All for One quirk, so he can only pass the super strength quirk. He wouldn't be able to give him like the flying and the transparency, because then he'd be able to. Then he would say like, along with this ability, you get flight and you can turn shit into jello pudding and you can talk to animals, because you'd be passing down multiple people's quirks.
Then in that case,
he would have all those quirks.
All Might would have fucking completely smoked fucking All for One. Not in the second battle, but in the first battle. In the first battle they had, but before he got injured and got the hole in his stomach. And he would have.
That's so sad. Just thinking about that, that's sad. He's missing in organs in his body, and you don't think about that shit.
He's missing like 40% of it.
He's just like Edward Elric Sensei.
Yes.
Yes.
That's hilarious. That's a hilarious comparison. That's pretty fucking funny.
I thought about that right away. I was like, God damn, dude, that was just
blonde?
like what's her face?
Oh, that's funny as hell.
You know what's crazy? That Gran Torino being old as fuck, and he took that All Might punch like it was nothing.
Dude, Gran Torino was a beast.
Yeah.
At first, I thought he was the former. And I was all like, when they first introduced him, and he was training Deku, I was like, oh yeah, that dude, he must be the former, dude. He still has. That's why he's such a beast. But no, dude, he was that dude. And then when they showed him when he was younger, he was like a grown man, and that dude shrunk a lot.
He did. That was crazy. You went from like 6'2" to 3'5".
Man, I don't want to do that when I get older. He completely shrunk. So going away from that, have you guys read this show called Eden's Zero?
No,
I haven't.
So Eden's Zero is a new manga made by the creator of Fairy Tail. Now the Mashimiya, I forget his name. I'll learn it one day.
This shit looks pretty.
I've heard of that one. It just
came out, and I'm already interested. The first issue got way better feedback than the first issue of Fairy Tail. And what makes it dope is that not only is this going to be...
Is it Fairy Tail, dude? I see the cat.
No. Happy is in it, and he is in it by name. So is that little snow cone
and this girl
unicorn thing.
This girl looks exactly like what's her face?
They also have a kid that looks like Nasu and what's his friend's name?
This girl
that's the main character.
Like the girl that can summon the Zodiacs. And this dude looks exactly like Natsu, but with black hair.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like Nasu. He looks like Nasu and the Ice Guy mixed together.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, He's almost using the exact template. He's just using them differently.
Okay, I got it here. Okay, he is using. Yep.
Okay, so what you're saying is that he's using the same template but making a better show.
100%. And the ending of the first chapter has taken the internet by surprise. And I'm not going to tell you guys any more than that. You read through the chapter, you're going to have like an automatic assumption of what's happening. And then at the end of the chapter, you're like, what? This is fucking nuts. I can't wait for the rest of the series. And also, that guy is working on. He's working actually on another fairy tale. I don't know if it's a manga or he's trying to turn into a TV series, but it is another fairy tale epic novel. I don't. They look like cops. I'm not exactly. I guess we only got a picture, so I can only assume. But then he's working on a fairy tale movie. So the guy, I don't know. He's working on a fairy tale. Fairy tale maybe trying to come back.
I heard
with
Fairy Tale's coming back, dude. I was like, man, that'd be pretty cool. Cause
yeah, I don't. It got overshadowed. It definitely got overshadowed.
It took such a long time for it to get really good. Like, it started out good, and I was like, when it first started, I was like, all right, dude, this is gonna be like Naruto, but with fucking with magic instead of ninjas. But it wasn't. I was all like, man, and they had this whole series, they had this whole arc that was kind of like the Chunin exams, where they went to this little island or whatever, and I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna be like their Chunin exam arc, dude. This is cool. And then after that, it got really bad for a while, and then it got good, and then it got bad, and then I was and then it ended on like a really fucking strong high note. And then it was like, all right, we're over. And I was like, what? Dude, like...
I stopped watching that after like episode 300 something.
When I was reading it, bro, and I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it at all. Because I've tried watching it millions and millions of times. I did read it.
Is that the same voice actor as Edward Elric? If you go and write English stuff, so that
yeah,
a lot.
I just kind of let's let me get to the main points of this story. Let me get the recap. There's like a YouTube channel that takes an entire series and will sum it up. Because when I started reading it, it was already towards the end. Like, I was reading it when they were fighting like their big bosses, and it's getting close to the main bad guy, and then they get to the main bad guy, and you realize that main bad guy is not the real main bad guy. So that's where I was at. And I was like, it's a shame because unlike even Bleach wasn't as popular as the other top three. But it was more popular than Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
100%. And it was like with Bleach and Naruto and One Piece, because that's the generation I grew up. I didn't grow up reading Dragon Ball Z. I actually didn't like Dragon Ball Z growing up.
That should be a versus we do is a Bleach versus Fairy Tail.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. I'm very up to date on both of those, and they both ended abruptly, and they both had bad reviews.
Yeah.
So it definitely was good. Yeah. But it's like
I'm not up to date on any of them because I gave up on both of them, like pretty much the damn near exact same time.
it was sad because it was like, I don't know how I think maybe, and it could just be a Western thing because I don't know what it's like over there in the East. Yeah. But like, it took so long to get good. Like, it's one of those shows to where nobody actually just does the move. Like even Luffy, Gum Pistol, Gum Rocket, even Zoro. I think the longest name I've heard in the entire show is Zoro's the Tricholism. He recites that poem, and then he does Triple World Tricholism. And I was like, okay, that's a little long and annoying, but whatever. These characters literally cannot do a move without saying a sentence. Natsu has like 15 badass moves, but it gets overshadowed because the name is too long. It's like Dragon Fist of the Fire Emperor Scorching Fire. And it's just a punch. Just punch him. We get it. You have fire. I understand. Just fucking give him a fire punch.
Give us
and like he does like
dragon background. Give us different backgrounds for the different punches that he does instead of just like explain, instead of giving each move a title. So then we can tell like, oh yeah, that punch is different from that punch. Like, just give us the visual. Don't tell it. Don't tell. Show.
They just gotta say it every time so people can know it's that punch every time because you haven't heard it over 1,000 times already.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Just give us a different background, though. Like they can do that real quick.
It was and it gets tougher as the characters come up. You get Gray, who's the ice guy. You get Jaleel, who was my personal favorite. He was the Iron Dragon who somehow evolved into the Steel Dragon because he sucked up a bunch of carbon. Actually carbon specifically. This dude tried to poison the crew with carbon, and he just so happenedly was the guy for the job. I was like, yeah, let me suck up all this carbon. It's going to make me better. And he became a Steel Dragon. So I guess, science. But then you have the Thunder, the Light and the Dark Dragons, who are from the B class. Yeah. And it's hilarious because you have Light and Shadow Dragons.
Yeah, they're way more powerful dragons. And they're they're being downplayed by a Wind Dragon and a Fire Dragon. And a Metal Dragon.
And the Wind Dragon's a girl, not just a girl, anti-feminism type shit, but
she's child.
7.
Yeah, she's a child. Hey.
You have these 15, 16-year-olds who know more martial arts better than anything I've seen. They can
throughout the series, though. This child proves herself time and time again that she is no ordinary child, though.
Yeah, well. Aang did it better, so it's tough. But Eden Zero, I have some high hopes for Eden Zero. Very excited for what's about to come because now, like I said, with the 3 that we grew up with, on top of Dragon Ball Z being a constant reminder.
Aang did it better.
Aang did it better. But yeah. It's a chance for Fairy Tail to actually be one of the top 3 shows. Because I'm a Seven Deadly Sins fan. I think Seven Deadly Sins has now reached top 3 favorite animes of my life, and I don't think that it will beat out this Eden Zero show once it comes out. If this Eden Zero show continues and they get approved for it, the story is going to be 100% better. Because so far in Seven Deadly Sins, it's been a lot of prolonging for the past year. It's been a lot of talking. They showed really badass action in both the show and in the manga, and then just kind of
I don't like these characters.
Well, we don't really talk enough in this show.
I've never seen Seven Deadly Sins, but I'm looking it up right now. I don't like these character designs.
They're definitely tough from what we're used to, but when you watch them fight, bro, when you watch them and then you watch the story unfold, you'll forget all about it. I like
this dude right here. He's got the white spiky hair. He looks pretty flamboyant. He's got a red jacket.
Oh, Bon is not flamboyant at all, my man. He's not flamboyant whatsoever. Cool. He is. He's the reason why I cried in the second season. He is. He's truly ill, and he's not flamboyant at all. And there's no silent characters in the show. You have Zoro is the silent character.
Yeah.
And this guy seems like that type, Sasuke and everything. He's not.
This guy over here on the right, they just have him in all black and white. He's got a sword. He seems like he'd be the silent guy of anybody.
Black and white.
He's got a shirt that's the collar of his shirt is super huge. It hangs off his fucking shoulders.
Black and white.
They have everyone else in color. They just have him. He's got a lion underneath his thing. They got this girl with the pig underneath her.
That sounds like
he has the lion on his. He has the lion on his shirt.
Not on his shirt, but no, they each have a little animal underneath their picture. They got the one in the center. He's got a Ouroboros. He's got a serpent eating its tail, and then they got a girl with a ram. They got this girl with a pig. They got this
Mhm.
dude with a like some sort of muskrat thing. They got this girl with a snake, and they got this dude with a fox, and then this dude with a lion.
Yep.
The dude I like that I was talking about, he's got the fox, and then this other guy
Yeah.
over here on the right, he's got the lion. And
Yeah,
then,
the fox sin of greed, and you're talking about the lion sin of pride. They just showed the lion sin of pride in season 2. He is my favorite character and has been for years of that show.
yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Lord Escanor, my bad, Lord Escanor.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be the silent type if there was one in
Not
the
at
show.
all. Not at all. He talks the most out of everyone.
He's like
you have
he's
have
actually like All Might.
Yes.
I'm judging books
Yes.
by their cover.
Books by the yeah, I know. That's what I was
looking at this
saying.
picture now that I'm interested, because I am 100% interested in just the Ouroboros in general. Like, not only just because I'm a huge Full Metal fan, but I've also done all sorts of other side research just on that symbol and other symbols alike. But apparently, the Ouroboros is like the world's most ancient symbol of all time, and it represents resurrection and rebirth, and or becoming a new self. And
Oh, you're talking about the Dragon Sin of Wrath tattoo. Yeah, so the small dude, yellow hair.
Yeah.
Main character.
Yeah.
Yep, Meliodas, the Dragon Sin of Wrath. It's dope. I'm telling you, because the character designs definitely pushed me off, especially when you read the manga. Like, I understand everyone who said they couldn't watch One Piece because it looked kiddish. I 100% understand it now. Because when I first heard that for like the first 10 years of my fandom, I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Childish. What do you mean childish? Do you understand what happens in this show?
Yeah.
People die.
I noticed that right off the bat. Like, here's the crazy thing. Like,
I guess
the animation, animation throws people off. And then, like, when you actually like get to the story and everything, it is amazing. And dude, that's why it never took me off.
It's super political. It's super, like, relevant to the times that we're living in today. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's on One Piece is on a whole other level of just like of world building and like.
But you know what? The reason why I couldn't find it childish is because a lot of people who found it childish did watch a lot more anime than I did at that point. If it didn't show up as a Saturday morning cartoon, I didn't know it existed.
Oh, dude, yeah. I grew up watching like Appleseed and Ghost in the Shell, and
I still haven't watched either of those.
Oh my god, yeah, I grew up watching I was like 10 years old, and I was buying VHS. I was going to Suncoast at the mall, at Cherryvale Mall, and I was buying fucking Record of Lodoss War VHSs. I was buying fucking.
Yeah, see, that's hardcore, bro. That was way beyond what I was about.
I was buying
I was on Metabots and Digimon and Flint the Time Detective.
I was watching that shit
and
too.
Zoids.
I was watching that shit too, and I was still entertained by all that shit, dude. And I could understand the difference. I was all like, all right, and then Digimon really impressed me. I was all like, dude, this is a kid show, but they get pretty dark, dude. And that shit really impressed me, dude. And that actually fucking influenced my mind a little bit more to fucking start getting more into some of the kid stuff, because I was already a kid. When I was watching more mature stuff with like Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed, where they got guns and people were fucking getting shot down, dead, bloody, and whatever. Like, it was crazy. And so I was watching that stuff. My mom didn't care. She's like, oh, it's just cartoon, whatever. She was doing her up with, like, whatever, making sandwiches or whatever she was doing. Like, she was like, doing mom stuff. I'm in the living room watching these fucking dope ass movies, and then and then when like Digimon and stuff came on, I was like, oh man, dude, like it gave me an appreciation, and I learned to watch some of the more kid stuff, because I was like, damn, they can tackle some good stuff. But then I watched like Static Shock, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Good God.
God damn it, Static Shock, dude, you're such a cool character, but this show sucks, and I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for saying.
You are. You're getting it now.
You're kidding?
You're about to get these hands. You're about to catch these hands.
Boom.
That's my
this man.
Go back and watch Static Shock right now, and you're like, dude, this is just a bunch of after-school fucking specials of fucking like, oh.
I've rewatched it.
Keep your kids
I've rewatched it already like 4 times. What are you talking about?
Keep your kids away from guns, or keep your kids away. Every episode has some sort of PSA fucking bullshit, and they did it in the like most cringy way, and I was like, oh my god, but. They had some. Cool
That's where you're wrong, sir.
They had some cool episodes. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't have like, but 80% of the fucking show was just PSA fucking bullshit. I'm not saying that wasn't the only show did it. That wasn't the only show that did it, but like people praise it for like this. It's like this God's gift of fucking animation, and it's not.
It is. You don't believe it is. It is
great.
It is the most perfect superhero show on the planet of existence.
It's not.
It did.
And
you know why? It's because it was a after school special, because it taught kids, hey, don't be a fucking dick. Be nice to people, or else you're gonna get fucking hurt. And you don't want to get hurt and being a dick, because you'll just be a hurt dick. And now you got these shows where like you got these characters doing completely unnecessarily stupid shit. And they're like, oh, it's the kids. They're like, oh, we got to control the kids. They're like, oh, well, I mean, there's really nothing. There's nothing out there that's showing kids to be a good person. There's nothing. There's not one show that you can tell me that has been made within the past 10 years that teaches children to be a decent human being.
The Amazing World of Gumball.
I will meet you and give you $20. There's not one show. They don't teach kids to be good people. Like we had an entire show
Amazing World of Gumball.
Doesn't teach kids to be good. Gumball's a horrible person. No, my wife is watching that show right now. It's funny as hell. It doesn't teach people to be good, though.
It has been a trope that's been going on since the 80s, where
they get in trouble, but they are good kids.
We want to like the asshole. We want to fucking fall in love with the person who's a dick. And like it's been a trope that's been going on for a long time. And I do agree that it can need to stop, but I don't know, man. Like a lot of shows right now, they'll like they'll tackle like real, just like conflicts, or whatever. Like if you watch Scrubs or some shit, dude. Like JD and Turk, they're good people, but sometimes they do asshole shit out of their own like little selfish desires, or just or whatever. They just make the wrong decision. Or like they're like shows right now, like it's not just like they're not gonna send you the little vibe of like like help the old lady cross the street.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing that anymore, because that was the 90s. That's what they did in the 90s.
Oh, I have a show. What? Girl Meets World.
Girl Meets World. Girl Meets World was all about being a good person.
No, it wasn't.
Girl Meets World.
That wasn't at all. She was influenced by her friend, who was clearly supposed to be Sean, and then they gave her some unrealistic. I watch these shows religiously, guys.
I do too.
They clearly made the Sean girl so abnormally depressing that it took away from Corey's kid, who then the show stopped being about because the ratings were absolute garbage. That's why second season they started bringing in all the old cast, because like they were causing problems specifically.
They were bringing in old cast in season 1, so you can't say that. The show was actually really good.
I mean, for us, yeah, but you're probably a person who enjoyed the 2011 Thundercats, right?
2011 Thundercats was dope.
2011 Thundercats is fucking dope.
Exactly. There's an entire civilization who disagrees with us.
And they're probably gonna like the new version of
I'm on your side.
Hold on. I did an episode on this. I brought my buddy over who was we had been drinking all day, and then I was like, hey, you want to do he brought it up. He's like, you want to do an episode? This is the dude I did my very first Timone show episode with, like back when it was a fucking 30-minute video talk show, and now it's like a extended hours long freaking podcast. And then but he came over, and we had been drinking for a while, and I was all like, I mean, he's a big classic Thundercats fan, and I was all like, I'm like, hold on, before we record this podcast, dude, I think I know what I want to do it on, because before we didn't have a subject or anything. I was all like, so I'm like, I showed him the new reboot, the Thundercats Roar, that's coming out next year, and he's like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? He got so mad. And then I showed him the first episode of Thundercats 2011, and he's like, dude, I would watch this show. This show seems like it's actually pretty good, but this fucking new shit that's coming out, what the fuck is that? He got really mad. So then we did a whole fucking podcast about reboots and our just thoughts on reboots in general. Do people do them for just cash grabs? Or do some people have some like real nostalgic appreciation for the source material, and they just want to do their own spin on it? And like that was the whole subject of the thing. And then so
Arrow, juice bags. Oh, sorry guys, just a hard, really bad cough just like came through right now. I'm sorry. Did that get like in the way of the recording at all?
That's
You're always fine, Tonio. I love you.
All right. So I'm not gonna be talking for a bit. So I'll still be listening, but I won't be able to talk for about 20 minutes.
All right.
That's perfectly fine. I got about 20 minutes left in me. 20 minutes left, so I gotta go. I got an extended vacation. I got to spend some time with my lady. Real quick,
Dalen said he's been listening in for like over an hour now. He's in, but he's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. So I haven't been jumping in. So, are you still on, Dalen?
Yeah, I've been here for an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh my God!
You could have said something, man. We could have stopped that.
Yeah, I mean, you go from One Piece to DBZ that I haven't watched in 20 years, and I have no idea what you're talking about. I just let you guys go.
I jumped in there.
I haven't watched.
I went into the group chat and I was like, dude, Dalen, jump in whenever you want. And he's all like, I don't know what the fuck. I've been in for like the longest time. I just don't know what the fuck.
I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z since I was like 13, so I have no idea about any of that stuff.
So what do you want to talk about, man?
It's whatever.
All right, so do you watch CW's The Flash?
I watch all of that.
Were you disappointed in the last season?
I was more... I liked it better than season 3.
Yes.
But overall, it was just, Arrow season 3, 4 quality.
That's the best way to describe it. It was just, yeah.
It was bad. It was so unnecessarily aggravating. Me and my wife actually stopped watching for a little bit and just wait for the series to end.
All you really need to watch of season 4 of Flash is like the first like 5 episodes maybe, and then like maybe like 2 and then like the Earth X crossover stuff. And then maybe like the last 4 episodes. That's all you need to watch for that, so you can get like all the good Nora Allen stuff, and it's really all you need to watch is for like the Nora stuff, because like in the beginning, when Barry's still like in the when his mind is still in the Speed Force, he's like, he's saying all this shit like Nora shouldn't be here and all this other fucking random shit he's saying. Like, that's all relevant only to stuff that's at the end of the season. You know, like what the fuck?
Yeah,
I just
I did.
think that the Volt stuff went on entirely. Well, no, I mean like it just got a little stale. Like it just got a little boring. The Volt. I mean, I know it complained a lot about them using speedster villains for 3 straight years. Then they finally give us one of those in speedster, and it's like the Volt is just it got to be a little bit much. And I don't know. I just hope the next villain was better. Wasn't into the Volt.
I hated that he got every meta at one point. I truly hated that at one point he got every meta. Like that's like yo, Barry is fucked up in the past, but this is absolutely preposterous. Like you saved not one person on the way. He didn't help at all. Every time it's like, don't worry, we'll do it better. We'll get them next time. And like, we watched him, it was like Plastic Man with Elongated Man. I was like, okay, Disney, you know what? I'm kind of with that. He needs to go away. He needs to take a permanent nap. It was like, no, we have a better way to do it. And within like what, 0.2 seconds, he knocked the dog shit out of Disney when they had that little fight. But wasn't fast enough to stop DeVoe from going into Elongated Man's mind. Like you weren't like it's that same shit like first season where he's the fastest man alive, but if somebody runs out of the building, he'll never be able to find them. Like it was absolutely baffling how corny they set this up. Like you shouldn't. I think it's a College Humor skit, but it's a College Humor skit making fun of the Flash intro. And every time he said, like they had the actual intro playing, and the dude kept interrupting. He goes, "You're actually not the fastest Flash. You're not the fastest man alive because everybody who comes across you somehow is faster than you. So maybe you shouldn't say that."
Like,
and they
I'm close to the fastest man alive.
They actually had
I'm definitely one of the top fastest humans alive. That shit had me hilarious.
They actually had Ralph kind of poke at that.
Mm-hmm.
In one episode, what was it? I think it was the first time Ralph was out in the field with him, and he was training him. And that was when they were fighting that who was that meta who can animate statues or whatever?
Black Bison.
Oh yeah, they were fighting her, and she had like a security guard captive or whatever, and or she was doing something. I guess he was getting attacked by a statue, and she ran out, and Barry chose to save him, and Ralph wanted to go after her. And when they got back to the Star Labs, they were arguing, and Ralph was like, "You're the Flash. You could have stopped her and saved him."
Exactly. It didn't make sense. It's so unnecessary. So unnecessary.
I think this is CW problem because they did the same thing with Supergirl. Because it's like, okay, I think it was season 2 where she was fighting these normal people who had weapons that could, hurt her. But it's like, I feel like you're fast enough to stop them from firing it off, though. All just regular guards or whatever with these guns.
Supergirl always
I feel like
utilizes her
fast
speed.
enough. I feel like you're fast enough to, avoid that or stop them from shooting. I think it's a CW problem. They always nerf them a lot. Like, Arrow, Oliver taking down 18 guys with machine guns, and then he gets beat up by Cupid. It's like, come on.
My wife brought that up. She did not understand it. She was like, wait a minute. He just took down like half a fleet of ninja assassins. How did he get shot?
By himself with a bow and arrow. They have machine guns. He has a bow and arrow. It's like 12 of them. And they're all highly trained guards and assassins. He has a bow and arrow. He's by himself. He takes him down in like 10 seconds. Still has a full quiver.
Hold on,
and then he just basically...
Quick question. Zachary.
Yeah.
Do you watch Westworld?
I actually going to get into it. I haven't heard about it until like the past 2 weeks.
God damn it! Nobody watches Westworld. Do you watch Legion or Krypton or any of those other shows?
I started watching Legion,
Do you
but
watch Preacher?
I lost interest.
Do you watch Preacher?
I don't even know what that is.
Preacher.
You gotta send me.
Oh my god.
Send me a list. I'll look it up, but you gotta send me a list.
I will. But I'll also let you borrow all of my Preacher comic books. I don't have the whole set, but I have like a good portion of them, and I'll let you borrow all of them, dude. We'll meet up somewhere, and you read those comic books, and then watch the fucking show, and you'll be like, yeah, dude, this is good shit. And then but how'd you get unimpressed with Legion, dude? Legion was so fantastic. They had like. Just the cinematography alone had me blown away for network television.
I think that's what it was. It's the same thing that I felt with Batman Ninja. They both were very visually appealing in every aspect of the way. There's no denying that. It's just the story didn't interest me. I was watching it. I'm like, I kind of understand where they're going with this, but at the same time, I'm uninterested. Like I don't really catch it because I guess knowing. And I also grew up reading I didn't really grow up reading Marvel comics, but I did grow up reading X-Men comics.
Yeah,
it was mostly all of DC and then X-Men.
This show I didn't because really I knew X-Men
from the 90s. And sorry,
everyone grew up to Fox Kids, dude. Like everyone in America grew up to fucking Fox Kids that's around our age range, dude. Like we're all in our fucking late 20s, early 30s here, and
it's a beautiful time to be alive.
It is. But we all grew up to Fox Kids.
I was telling my nephews that it's like you will never experience the joy and love that I felt waking up every Saturday morning hearing.
Here's something that you didn't know. If you woke up at 5 in the morning and turned on to Fox, you would have caught Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, I still have to sleep.
You would have caught Dragon Ball Z, and then you would have caught 2 episodes of Doogie Howser, and then you would have caught Fox Kids when that shit came on at 7. 7 to 11, dude. Fucking Fox Kids, fucking boom, was blowing that shit up.
Yeah, that was my thing.
So if you woke up at 5 in the morning, dude, you'd catch 2. Sometimes they'd even cut out some of those episodes of Doogie Howser so you could watch all the entirety of Tree of Might or the entirety of fucking whatever other movie they had out at the time.
Cool.
And
they did have movies playing at that early.
Oh my god, dude, that was the first time I ever saw Dragon Ball Z, dude. It was back when like we were wee tots, and then like you grew up in the same town I did. You know, we didn't get Cartoon Network until like damn near almost the year 2000, and like and so then like when we finally got that shit, then we got Toonami. Like that shit was a game changer, and then like
it was beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm not saying much right now. I'm reminiscing, man. I remember all of it, man. I remember when in 2005 when they said we're not going to show the Flintstones and shit no more. And I almost threw like a fucking panic attack because I was like, oh my God, how am I going to watch like Thundercats and He-Man and the Jetsons? Because I don't know why I love the Jetsons, but I really did.
Hey. Jetsons and Hasbro and DC Comics released a 6-issue series of the Jetsons. I have every 6 issue. I'll let you borrow those too, but you got to give those back to me.
You got to give those back.
I don't care about the Preacher books. You don't have to give those back. But fucking the Jetsons books, dude, you have to give those back.
Well, I also have the internet hookup too, so I can always grab that from there. But I'll definitely peep it out. You said So wait, why? Why is there a Jetsons comic release?
Hanna-Barbera, and I said Hasbro earlier. I didn't mean to say Hasbro. Hanna-Barbera and DC released a 6-issue Jetsons arc, and it is fucking fantastic. Fucking very nice. Ooh. Oh
They
my
did a
goodness.
Flintstones too, I think.
I hope they're doing a Flintstones because
No, I think they already did it.
if they did, I hope
And they're doing Scooby Doo as well already.
because the ending of the Jetsons arc could very well introduce a Simpsons thing because it's like the whole Earth got rebooted at the end of the issue. The whole Earth gets rebooted at the end. And but then you still got these futuristic people living in the sky, though. It's like, it's I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. And the very first issue is awesome. The first panels are like meet George Jetson, and then like they do the song, but in dialogue. It's cool. It's great.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Because I remember there was a theory about there was a theory about I don't know if you guys remember the Jetsons Meet the Flintstones movie.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You do? Okay. Let's say. So there's a theory saying that they were supposed to go to the future for like a day or so just to see what the future is like and whatnot, and they end up going into the Flintstones cartoon. And so they're like, oh, maybe my machine malfunctioned. There's a theory that's saying like, no, like civilization kind of like crashed at one point.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense because if they were just starting, just logically speaking, if they were just starting, how would they have so much intricate knowledge and ways to makeshift what they need, like a construction company,
with dinosaurs
shopping
and shit, dude. Yeah.
So I was like, yo, that's actually pretty cool.
They turned all these animals into machines, dude. That's what the Bible wanted us to do.
Use these fucking dinosaurs, dude. These are dangerous. All right, this one.
No,
this one can launch you.
We have domination over the entire planet and all creatures on it. Fucking Genesis, dude. Fucking, it says that shit. I'm paraphrasing. But it says that shit. And then, and the Flintstones are doing that shit.
That's going to be fun. I can't wait to read that. Like I said, I have this, I know my way around the internet. I know my way. There's people who be like, oh, how did you read that? I went to the internet and I found a link.
You say
I have to.
You can just say Wiener buys the comic books every month, and you got them from Wiener.
Oh, I'll tell him. I got him from Wiener. That sounds funny. I'm gonna say it too. I'm gonna say it with pride. You know Wiener. I know Wiener. Anyway, but I can't wait to do. I hope we can actually all talk again sometime. I gotta go be a husband, and so I will talk to you guys later. Hello?
There's one down.
Yeah, all right then.
We need both of them brought upstairs.
Alright, I'll bring that one up. Alright, Zach, it's good to see. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, let's get together again, Tonio. This was fun. We got to talk about more stuff. I like you. And Dalen, we will think of more things to talk about too.
Oh no, it's all good. I was just
Zach,
the whole time I was watching.
I'll bring you on a finale verse episode sometime that I do with Dalen and Tonio all the time. And
I'll love it. Tell me, you guys let me know what it is, and I will do all the research that I possibly can on it. I'm really good at cramming. That's how I got through high school.
All right, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And I plan on continue recording with Dalen and Tonio. You guys are still on board?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
cool.
Tony went.
I don't know where
Tonio said he couldn't talk. He listens, but he can't. He couldn't talk
for
for
20
20
minutes. Yeah, he'll be back.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure. Till next time.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, dude. Fucking Timone show 1 year anniversary. That's the first time I brought it up for the whole fucking thing. Yeah, all right. Have a good time, man. Be a good dad. Everything is gone. All right. How you been, Dalen?
Good. I was watching Ant-Man and the Wasp videos while you guys were talking about One Piece and all that.
There's a lot of good stuff going on about for Ant-Man and the Wasp, man. I'm excited for that movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Wasp because we finally get like the classic Avengers and Avengers 4 all in the same movie. You got Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. It's like the,
Yeah.
who it started. Well, I mean, Hulk left when Cap joined, but still, still
Yeah.
classic.
Oh man, I'm getting hyped, dude. I haven't been able to go out and see any movies. I've been saving some money, but that is one I'm definitely gonna go out and see in theaters.
Yeah, I like the first one was really good. I like Evangeline Lilly, so I'm glad to see her as Wasp finally suiting up.
Is that
And
the girl from Lost?
yeah, she was on Lost and The Hobbit.
That's why I fell in love with her right away, because when she was on Lost, I was like, oh my god, dude, I would be doing everything I could to make sure she was safe.
She was on The Hobbit as well, and she got a lot of hate from The Hobbit though, because she played a character that wasn't in the books. So there was like a lot of backlash about it.
Well, they're making a fucking 3 movies out of one book, dude. Like, which is fine.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
fine, but
but
they're gonna have to add some extra shit into it, Like,
did you see The Hobbit?
I saw the
Did you
first
see?
2, I think.
Okay, so
I
like
saw I know I saw the first one at least.
she was in the second and third one,
All
and
right.
basically part of her story was like a love story with a dwarf. So a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, you're just shoving this romance crap into it. Oh, why are you make up this character?" So she got a lot of crap for that, but I don't care what anyone says. Those movies are great. I think it's better than the first trilogy. Maybe I don't know. I'd have to watch them back to back, but yeah. Yeah, so she was in that. Also in Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. So it's like, yeah, Wolverine and the Wasp teaming up already.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to see it next Friday.
It's already out.
Nah, it comes out Friday.
All right. Whew. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You see
hopefully, yeah,
Ant-Man, Wasp.
I'll be able to see it over the weekend. Hopefully, I might be able to see it Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon.
I think they're gonna have a classic Ant-Man and the Wasp. Is like because Michael Douglas keeps saying like, oh, they aged Michelle Pfeiffer down 20 years or to look 20 years, with the CGI and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the girl from The Gifted, the one that can like track things on the computer, the short hair. You know what I'm talking about? The Gifted.
I don't think I ever. Oh, the gift. Yeah, I did see The Gifted. Yeah.
Well, she's the one I guess is always on the computer helping the dad
Yeah. Okay.
track
Yeah.
people, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I think she does the stunt work for the Janet Van Dyne Wasp. Like Janet, because Evangeline plays Hope Van Dyne, but I think she does the stunt work for Janet, but they did Michelle Pfeiffer's head on the body. I don't know somehow. So I think they're gonna do like a classic, some like maybe flashbacks or something of hers, them Ant-Man and the Wasp in the '80s or whatever. And they have Goliath as well. Bill Foster. I don't know. We'll see how they do it. And I don't know. I got some theories about it too. I think they're gonna. They said it takes place around the same time as Infinity War. Like while that was going on, they're dealing with this in San Francisco.
Okay.
So I also think by the end of it, you're gonna see some more people dusted. I'm pretty sure Wasp is gonna get dusted. I think Hank is gonna get dusted as well.
Hank might be dusted. I don't think Ant-Man or Hope or Janet will be dusted, but I can see Hank being dusted. I don't see what's his name, Scott Lang. I don't.
Well, the reason why I
He
say
won't be dusted.
reason why I say Hank and Hope are just dusting, I think, is you already know Ant-Man is in Avengers 4. There's set photos of him and Stark in the Battle of New York.
Hank and
Obviously,
Hope
time
would
trap.
actually Hank and Hope would be cool because then you have the new Ant-Man teaming up with classic Wasp, and like that would be a fucking really cool dynamic.
Yeah, but I think because you saw Scott Lang, he was he was Stark on set photos, and at the Battle of New York, so he's obviously gonna be fine. I mean, I think they're gonna use the quantum realm to like time travel or whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say Hope gets dusted because I think she's only filming for like a few weeks. Like I watched a live chat Evangeline Lilly did a while back, and somebody asked her a question about it or being in Avengers 4. She's like, yeah, I mean, not very much. Don't expect me to be in it a lot. So I'm thinking like everyone who got dusted probably don't get that much screen time because I'm thinking like the whole movie is them trying to save everyone.
Well, the dusted stuff won't be until the after credits. I hope, and like because this stuff is kind of going on during or kind of before Avengers 3.
No, it's going at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think by the end of it, or like maybe like an end credits, they'll probably get dusted. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I think Hank. I don't know. I'm maybe reading too much into the whole balance thing. I feel like okay, you have Scott and Hope. One of them has to go. You have Hank and Janet. One of them has to go. So it's about balance. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. That's my theory.
I don't know much about the whole Hank Pym, Scott Lang, Hope Van Dyne, Janet Van Dyne. I don't know much about all of that lore. The only thing I know is from the cartoon.
Hank is
Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes had a really awesome arc with their whole relationship, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool stuff. But I know that I know at one point that Hank Pym was like an abuser and like maybe some sort of addict at some point, dude. Like,
yeah, he's abused Janet before.
Yeah.
Was very not. Yeah, he's done that. But Hank is the original Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And obviously Janet is the original Wasp.
Yeah.
Hope is actually technically a villain. She's technically a Red Queen in the comics.
Okay.
But they're obviously not going that route. They just decided to make her Wasp instead.
Yeah.
And so you have like the older Hank and the older Janet who were superheroes back in the 80s with the government. So you have like Cap is the very first superhero, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Captain Marvel. Those are like the first three heroes, or first four heroes before Iron Man. So yeah, they were the heroes, and then I guess Scott Lang is the second Ant-Man in the comics, and I think I like Scott better than Hank. His comics are pretty good.
It wasn't Carol Danvers fucking Captain Marvel though. It was a different Captain Marvel, wasn't it?
Well, it's Marvel, yeah. But I'm saying in MCU terms. In terms of the MCU.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scott Lang is pretty. I think I like him better than Hank. His more recent comics are pretty good. They have Eric O'Grady as well. He's another Ant-Man, but I don't know if they ever get to him. I don't know much about him, but yeah. They should be pretty cool. They look like they're setting him up for long term. Paul Rudd is 49 years old, but he looks like he's about 35.
I know.
So it won't even matter for the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, he looks great.
And she's only like 38 or whatever, so she's still young. So it works.
Yeah, dude. She looked great in Lost, and she looked great in Ant-Man 1. And I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like, Evangeline Lilly, dude,
But I think this is pretty good. I mean, obviously it's like a cool off movie from Infinity War. 'Cause obviously, Infinity War was pretty heavy,
Yeah.
so I think it's smart for them to place this movie. I don't want to say filler, but more of like a buffer to like after Infinity War, so you can calm down. I guess. So they kept saying it, like this movie is like they placed it after this movie.
Hey guys,
Hey, what's happening?
have you guys not been able to hear me this entire time?
No.
Well, fuck, I've been talking this entire time. I think you guys were just ignoring me.
Here. Were you saying anything about Ant-Man?
Yeah, like the reason why I thought you guys were listening to me is because I was saying like, oh, the reason why like the Scott comics are like the Scott Ant-Man comics are doing a lot better is probably because they're making it seem more like Paul Rudd's Ant-Man.
Were you on when Zach left?
Yeah, I was still talking. I thought you guys were hearing me because like literally after I said something, you guys would say something that was similar to what I was saying, and I was like, oh shit, but they're not acknowledging me.
Nah, couldn't hear you.
Oh, that's funny then.
But yeah, they are doing a good job of like making it really comedic. I don't know how comedic it was back in the day, but basically, yeah, I agree with that. Make it more like Paul Rudd. But I haven't read Ant-Man since like in 3 years, and I think that was a pretty good run back then, a few years ago, when he basically he supposed to work for Tony Stark at Stark Industries, and I think it's like security or some part of like security or whatever, and Stark kept giving him chances or whatever, and he gave him one more shot, and he had the job, and he was about to, but he was visiting his daughter, and he ended up something happened where his daughter was like upset because he wasn't in her life as much, so he ended up choosing to stay where his daughter was, and Tony Stark was pissed off that he just basically blew him off or whatever. But he's being a good dad, and he had to fight like Taskmaster and everything, and Taskmaster was like, I'm looking for someone else, like I'm not even gonna bother with you, and he kept thinking Taskmaster was like his arch enemy. That was a pretty good run. I never finished it, but I liked it. I used to read it in class.
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man books coming out on the shelves, and I've been purposely not buying them, which I just feel like it's just Marvel's fucking cash grab on just trying to popularize on what the new movie is. And I feel that's fine. No, I feel that's fine for like new coming like comic book readers and stuff, but like for me, dude, like I'm just like, I'm not trying to read that shit, dude. Like I'm really trying to not buy a lot of Marvel or DC, dude. Like I buy a little bit. I buy Sideways. I buy the Terrifics. I buy Spectacular Spider-Man. I buy Venom. I buy Hunt for Wolverine. But then I buy a lot of Image. I buy a lot of Xenoscope. I buy a lot of I buy a lot of Boom. I buy, and then also I have a $35 a week Wednesday limit, and then sometimes a lot of times I exceed it, and I'm
well, in the comics now they have a Ant-Man and Wasp run going, but it's not. I mean, Scott, but it's not Hope. It's actually Nadia Van Dyne.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's a different Wasp. So I mean, they're always gonna put stuff out to bring in a different crowd because you have writers that just watch the movies, but maybe they see a comic and say, oh, this is kind of like the movie. Maybe they'll start reading more into it. I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's fine for like people who are just now coming into the comics or whatever. I'm all like, yeah, dude, let them read some shit that's familiar with the movies or whatever that got them that are coming in and just now becoming fans. And I don't know, man. Like but there's a lot of times I just feel it's just like a little just quick cash grab. And
well, I mean, I understand that. Like, I don't think I'm not obsessed over it. Like, it doesn't bother me like it bothers other people. Obviously, the movies affect.
We're gonna do that right
now. They do. but it should be the other way around more than anything. But I do like that those comics will bring in more fans, hopefully, or at least the idea of that. I don't know how much they do, but I guess the idea of that, I don't mind that.
I did a show on Nasser's channel. Just
Fuck Nasser.
I did a show on Nasser's channel just the other day about. I uploaded it on my Facebook. I didn't upload it on my Twitter or anything. I uploaded it on my Facebook. We were talking about comic sales and like why they're declining and like all this other stuff and and it was about piracy in comics because a lot of people are pirating comics a lot more nowadays and
Yeah.
and like we don't got a lot of people going into the shops and buying the actual legit books or whatever. Like digital comics are fine. It's fine if you're buying digital comics or whatever, but there's a lot of piracy going on with comic books, and it's like I'm totally fine with pirating TV shows and movies because they already have like all the viewers and all the fucking budget and whatever for, but the comic book industries really don't have the budget to support piracy. So like I'm kind of like how do you guys feel about any of like people not going in and buying the books and pirating them instead, or just
I've talked about how I felt a number of times about pirating. I don't agree with it. I buy them off the comic book people.
Yeah. I mean, I always want to support the industry, obviously.
yeah.
Like I haven't been to a shop in a while. I usually buy my trades off Amazon or Marvel DC apps where I read my single issues. Like I've been using the Marvel app a lot to read everything. Like what I have here.
But
Like I
in the
have
past couple of years, there was at least 50 comic book ships or comic book shops across the country that had closed because of the low
Why is it stuck
support.
like this?
¿Tiene algo?
Hello?
yeah.
It sounds like Tony was getting attacked by a bear.
Well, it's raining outside.
Oh, dude, you're getting the storm that we just had. Oh, we had a storm, dude. It's only gonna last for like 20 minutes. You'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy out here.
You're getting the storm that we. It's gonna blow over, dude. It's going that way, but it's gonna blow over. Fuck, dude, I had that storm. We had that storm like around like 2 o'clock, maybe like 1:30.
Entonces por aquí. David.
¿Cómo there?
Well, ahí. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you guys can get the front. I'll get the back.
David's there. Dalen.
I'm not sure if he's still in.
Dalen, you
My
there?
bad.
Yeah. Here.
All right.
What were you saying about the shops?
Yeah, there was a bunch of comic book shops that had like closed, like at least 50 of them that had closed within the last couple of years, like due to low sales or whatever. People going in and people not going in and buying books or whatever. They're using Amazon or whatever, and like. Although I appreciate Amazon and what they do, like they're like trying to just do whatever they can to become like the world's like biggest global market of anything. But there's also like, and then there's also fans whatever that do what you do. They wait for the trades to come out and then they'll buy them or whatever. I don't know, man. Really, I feel that there's a lack of appreciation for what the local comic shops are doing, and I don't know, like I feel bad for any sort of closing business, you know, like
Well, I don't. I mean,
any
not
thoughts on
everyone can
that?
really get to shops. So, like, I personally can't get to a shop right now.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I would go. So I have to. Also, like, I'm in a position where I have to buy trades online
yeah,
or the apps. So I actually like going to comic book stores. It just I haven't been able to go in the last few years. So there are people in that situation. I guess you got to kind of look at that as well.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like it's not
definitely.
like everyone is pirating. It's just sometimes a circumstance. Like I know people who don't even live near a comic store, so they have no choice but to buy stuff online.
Yeah.
So those other things you got to take into consideration instead of
Oh,
just assuming everyone's just.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm not
It's
downplaying
just
any of that at all. Those were just more thoughts that crossed my mind. But you bring them up, I'm absolutely on board.
Nasser kind of looks at things in a very black and white viewpoint sometimes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
doesn't really look at the other circumstances surrounding things.
yeah,
I guess so.
yeah. But
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with pirating.
yeah,
People do it, can't really stop it. So
I'm sure that the 50 stores or more or whatever that had closed were in areas where people had access to get there, but they just weren't going. You know.
yeah,
Yeah. So I'm not talking about fucking places in like Nebraska or whatever where there's not shit anywhere or like
yeah,
stuff like that. Like you live in a probably pretty accessible area where people can get around anywhere like when they need to or whatever. And if the funds meet that circumstance, whatever. Like you probably live in an area that has good public transportation and stuff, right?
yeah.
I
Wait,
don't. I live in an area that has really shitty public transportation, so that's why I choose to ride my bike everywhere. Since I don't own a car and I'm in good enough shape to be able to do that.
well, we have BART system, bus system, so it's not terrible over here.
I know where Tonio lives. He's got a decent public transportation system. Tonio, you still on? Fuck him.
No,
I'm still on. I just can't talk right now.
All right. Oh
yeah,
man.
so I think there's a lot of factors. I mean, not everyone pirates. I mean, it's a shame that stores are going under, but I mean, you also got to think about the prices of books as well. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
bought a
that was
book, but
that was another thing we talked about where I was like, if they drop the book prices, because Nas, I don't know if I can follow Nasser's math, but he did the math. I gave him some Fantastic Four books, uh, some like really old Fantastic Four books, whatever. He paid me for them, and then he did the math on the price of those Fantastic Four books and like calculated inflation or whatever. And he said the modern book should be selling at, if you calculate the price from those books, which were like at probably like 75 cents or like 80 cents an issue, and you multiply it to now or whatever, the modern book should be selling at quote like a dollar like 67 or something an issue when they're selling them at like 4.99, 5.99. If you're buying an annual or like an 80
yeah,
page special, they're like 8.99. And I do I'm at the comic book shop every week, and I know this, dude. I'm like, you, Alterna Comics, they print their comic books on newsprint, and they sell their books at $1.50 a piece. the most expensive book you'll buy from them is like maybe $250 if it's a big issue, whatever. And
It was the quality of it, though.
oh, they're great. They're great, dude. I'll show you some screenshots, or I'll send you some pictures of some of the alternative books that I buy, whatever, and
Alright.
you'll see the quality. I can't pull. Maybe I can. I can pull some up right here. Look up Wicked Righteous.
Like I know the Jason Aaron Thor book was like $5.99 for that first issue, and the second issue is probably like $4.99.
Look up Wicked Righteous on Google, dude. You'll see the fucking quality of the art and of everything and of the story and all this shit, dude. I have it up right now. Like
Wicked what?
Wicked Righteous. It's written by a buddy of mine, actually. He's not a buddy of mine, but I've met him. We were friends on Facebook before I met him. I met him at C2E2 this current year. And his name is Terry Mayo. I don't know who the artist is.
Okay, I see it.
But the art is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I see it.
It's a 6-issue run. $1.50 a piece, dude. Like, so you're gonna spend what, $3 or whatever, or what? No. You're gonna spend like
It's $9 for those who can't do math.
yeah, $9. I can't do math. It's nine. You're gonna spend $9 on the whole fucking series.
Yeah, I mean, the prices do get out of control. I mean, they're printing on cheaper paper. It makes sense to sell it for, cheaper.
A lot of the new DC books, like Immortal Man and Sideways and like Terrifics and stuff, they're selling those at $2.99, which isn't bad. And then and one thing I fucking recently learned about new comic books is they don't have tax, so the $2.99 is $2.99. They only sell tax on, like, if you're going through the fucking the back issue bins, and so yeah, dude, these books sell at a fucking $1.50. You can get the whole series for $9, dude. It's new. I've been getting them. I bought the first 4 off of Terry Mayo at C2E2, and he gave me a deal because, like, he didn't have change and I didn't have change. Like, all I had was I had like a $20 bill, and all he had was like, I don't know. I got the first 3 issues or first 4 issues for like $2 or $3, whatever. And then I've been I've been pre-ordering the other ones to my comic book shop. So, like, that's a book you need to check out, definitely. I read them while I was on the train. I read the first 3 while I was on the train, and like it's actually a really solid story. It's about these kids. They're all related. They're trying to find their own. They're trying to figure out this way in this world. There's a lot of shit that's going on in the world that they're living in. It's like kind of like post-apocalyptic. And Terry told me that he based the kids off of his own children. So I don't know.
Yeah, I might give it a shot. We'll see.
Check it out if you want. I'm not good at explaining other people's works. If I could tell
I get it.
I can tell you about other people. I can tell you about my works all day, but talking about other people's works, man, I especially like off of just like a train reading, and like giving them a second look, and I I have every single issue, and I haven't read the other ones yet, and so I don't know.
Well, I mean, sounds like they I mean, if it's cheaper, I guess that would help.
It totally
It's
helps,
just
dude. I'm tired.
I
I
can't
think I might. I
couldn't
think I might go that route when I start printing my own books.
I
Is
couldn't I couldn't personally buy, 4 and 5 $5.99 books. That's just too much.
exactly,
It's
dude.
like almost it's like damn near $40.
I was at the
Probably like five
store.
or six of them.
I was at the store. I was buying Immortal Hulk #1, and the dude's all like, "You're not buying the right Immortal Hulk #1." And I'm like, "Well, which one should I be buying?" And he goes over here to the fucking shelf of the exclusive shit. He's like, "You gotta buy this one. It's the variant for $29.99." I'm like, "That's my entire comic book budget for the week, dude. I'm not fucking buying
There's a
that one
vari-
book
there's
for
there's
the
a variant
fucking."
for there's a $30 variant. There's a $30 variant.
$30 variant.
No, nobody's buying that.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, dude. I'm not that big of a collector, dude. Like, if I had a better job, yeah, I'd be buying it. But I don't have a better job, so I'm not
No,
buying
not for
that
one
fucking
book.
book.
Not for one book. I can find the art online and just have it as a screensaver. Not for $30.
No, but I've always had that collector mentality. Ever since my grandmother scolded me one time for opening an action figure package, I was like, "But I like to play with my action figures." She's like, "But those could be big collector's items back when." I'm, and I was like 7, and I'm all like, I don't give a fuck about collector's items, but like
See, sometimes
that's
you don't want
always.
to.
But she said that
Sometimes
to
you
me.
don't.
It's always rang true into my heart. So I've always had
But
that
see,
like good collector's mentality. Like if I could afford the 29 or the $30 fucking variant, I would buy the $30 variant, but I can't buy it, dude. I can't right now. Like otherwise, I definitely would, and I would learn I would learn when and how and why to properly flip it. You know.
yeah, I mean, I don't have that mentality. Like, there's certain things like other things I would want to keep. Like, I'm just not gonna sell everything because it's a collector item. I remember I got a Elder wand for Christmas.
Yeah.
With Dumbledore's wand,
Yeah.
and my aunt was like, "You'll sell that in like 20 years." It's like, no, I don't think I'll sell this. I don't care how much it's worth.
Only if someone else gave you another one, you would be like, maybe I'll pass down the second one to my kid. I'm not gonna sell it.
I'll pass it down to my kid, but I'm not selling it to some random person. No. I would never sell Harry Potter memorabilia.
No,
this will not happen.
There's one series that I buy 2 issues, or I buy 2 copies of, and that's Spectacular Spider-Man. And this is what got me back into buying comic books. This is a crazy story. So, like, me and Jeremy and a couple other people were at the comic book store buying stuff for D&D, and then this one dude, the one dude that tried to upsell me on the fucking Immortal Hulk variant, he's like, "Oh, dude, we got the new Spectacular Spider-Man #1 in, blah, blah, blah." And I don't know how he knew this, but I have the original Spectacular Spider-Man #1 in my collection. And I was like, no shit, dude, he's got a Spectacular Spider. So then I went back there and I looked at him, and I bought #1. I bought two copies of the original, and then I bought all the variants that they had of it. And then I actually read the fucking first book, and I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. So then I went back every month, and I was buying all the... And then going back every month got me going into the comic book store every single week off of this one dude just doing his job. I always tell him he's a dickhead for doing his job because he's always trying to fucking upsell some shit. But he's just doing his job and he's good at it. But I always tell him he's a dickhead. Now he's got me in there fucking spending fucking $35 to fucking $50 a week at the fucking comic book store off of just fucking Spectacular Spider-Man #1.
Everyone loves Spider-Man.
And the only reason is because I already have the original Spectacular Spider-Man #1, and I was like, oh, this would be cool to add to my collection that I'm trying to sell. That's the only reason I was all like, all right, yeah, I can fucking... Nope. It didn't work out that way. Now I have a freaking long box of a to-read pile, and I don't know what to do with my life.
I mean, it's Spider-Man, so gotta love Spidey.
Spider-Man is the greatest superhero of all time.
Ooh, I mean,
he can beat
up top 3.
He can beat up Deku. He can beat up Superman. Goddammit, needed his help to defeat Venom in the Access crossover.
I mean, he's top 3 most popular. You have Superman and Batman.
Luffy is trailing at #4, but goddammit, Luffy's gonna win at #1. But Spider-Man is the greatest. I even read Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider. I get that shit every month. And oh my god, dude, it's a beautiful book. It reads like a '90s book. It's
I read the first issue of Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider.
See, I started the series at like number 6 or 7, but then I went back and I bought all the back issues and I read. Now I'm current. It's at like number 20 right now. And like, oh my god, dude, that book. It reads like a '90s book. It's like 100% fantastic.
I usually try to read the first issue of anything I can, see if I want to stick with it. I've been reading Cable.
Yeah.
That is like, how many issues I got? Maybe 12 issues in already.
I've been not reading Cable because Nasser's been ranting and raving about it.
Why this time? What is wrong with Cable? In his diversity in comics mind. 17 issues in. But what's wrong with Cable?
I'm fine with Cable. I like Cable as a character. I think he's like.
No, what does he say is wrong with Cable? Huh? What did Cable do to disrupt the?
No. Nasser just like really recommends it. He's like, dude, Cable, all this Cable shit is badass. And I'm like,
you said ranting. You said ranting. I thought he was talking about his views.
No, rant and raving. It was a positive rant and raving.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm on when they started doing that stupid numbering to 150 whatever. Let me see.
Man, Dalen, I'm really sad I couldn't get Zach
from
Diversity in Comics on this episode.
Nah, fuck that guy anyway.
Yeah, I tried. I really did try. I tried for like a week and a half to fucking get him on.
It's all good. Get him anyway. But yeah, I'm 8 issues in. Yeah, 9 issues in. So I got 5 issues to catch up.
I'm behind on everything, dude. I haven't even read the most recent. I don't think I read the most 2 recent uh, Spectacular Spider-Mans, or the last two, Betty and Veronica Vixens. I buy that shit every month. This shit's really cool series, dude. Betty and Veronica started a biker gang to defeat the Southside Serpents, and it's really fun. They recruit all the chicks in the Archieverse besides Sabrina, because Sabrina lives in Greendale, dude. They don't whatever. So when Cheryl Blossom joins the crew, dude, it's really cool. That's like in like the 5th issue. Cause I haven't read 6 or 7, but in the 5th issue, Cheryl Blossom joins the crew. And she's almost exactly how she is in Riverdale, and I appreciate the character a lot more now. And I don't know, like Betty and Veronica Vixens is a series that I think everybody can enjoy. There's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, like fucking SJW, fucking bullshit propaganda, because it's all
Of course.
chicks. I can see a lot of this shit happening with Betty and Veronica Vixens, but
Anytime there's anyone that's not
no,
a straight white guy with square jaw, it's a
no,
problem.
because the lead serpent, he's 100% misogynistic, dude. He's 100% dickhead, and like I don't know. There's a plot hole in there. It's my own plot hole that I have with it. It's like his girlfriend. He's got a girlfriend, but she's 100%, maybe not 100%, 80% opposed to how the way he acts and how the way she's treated in the relationship, whatever. And it isn't until the 5th issue in the series that she joins with the Vixens, when she rides off with them or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, all right, dude, fuck you guys. You guys are all fucking pigs," and all this shit. Like, you can see it in the very first issue with how he treats her, or like how she feels or whatever, just with her, like how she looks, and just like with her little minute dialogue that she has, that she's is not okay with 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 anything that's going on, and but for some reason she puts up with it, and I don't know, like I don't know. It's so there's gonna be that all sorts of that shit where like SJWs are portraying fucking alpha males as whatever fucking bullshit, and so like there's that, and I don't know. It's a really cool series. It's fun. It's I don't know.
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever read one Archie comic
Oh,
in my
dude.
life. Not one.
I buy
It
that
just
one
never
and I
appealed to
buy
me.
Vampironica. I haven't read a single issue of Vampironica. It's got 2 issues out. But I buy it. Just
I mean, their sales have boosted because of Riverdale, obviously.
I just have a super. I'm looking at my to read pile right now because I have everything in my office room. I even get like some Xenoscope one shots. I got this Oz Wizard. It's just a one shot. I haven't read it yet. It's right here, just in my face.
Yeah, but Riverdale has definitely raised their sales, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. They have a whole Riverdale comic. It's based off of the Riverdale series, or at least the tone of the comic is based off of the Riverdale series. And they have a Archie comic called The Archies.
Yeah.
They have a more classic Archie comic called like Archie and Pals. But like the Archies comic is like Archie has a band, and that's what the band is called, is the Archies, and that's what the comic is based off of it's having. I don't buy that one, but I see that shit on the shelves all the time.
I need to get to a comic store. I moved about 6 months ago, so I gotta find a new one out here. There used to be one I used to go called Crush Comics.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was like around the corner from my house back then when I lived over there. So I don't think I'll go to that one anymore.
I do highly recommend this Image book called Nick Wilson. It's about a retired superhero. He was kind of like the Superman of like this universe. Like he had super strength. He was like All Might from My Hero Academia that we were talking about earlier. Like he didn't have all the abilities that like Super might have, but he had like the super strength. He was the like number one superhero, but now he's like old and he's retired, and he doesn't have he really doesn't have a job. He's like now he's kind of like in like the Hancock mode of his life, where he's just like whatever, he drinks a lot or whatever. And then his arch nemesis was like the Lex Luthor of the world, whatever, is like trying to hire him to become like a showcase for like this museum that he's trying to build up to represent Nick Wilson. Like he's like, this is the fucking museum for Nick Wilson or whatever. Like Nick Wilson, like, and in the very first issue, he's actually like pretending to be himself at like children's parties. Like he's pretending to be a Nick Wilson impersonation at children's birthday parties, and like to like make money or whatever. And like and then he doesn't even fuck the kids' moms when the kids' moms are wanting him to fuck them, and like and he has this manager. He has this manager that like smokes weed and shit all day, and he drinks or whatever. He's like, I booked you these gigs and blah blah blah, and he's all like, and Nick Wilson's all like, dude, I don't really care, dude. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit, dude. Like I just want to chill.
And what is this from again?
It's an Image Comics. It's Image Comics, dude. It's fun.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, dude. It's awesome, dude. It's about like 6 issues in right now. I've read the first 4. And oh my god, dude, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't read much Image. Yeah, last thing I was reading from that was Paper Girls. It was pretty good.
Yeah. The Rocko's Modern Life comics from Boom, Nickelodeon Boom. I think the Nickelodeon version of Boom is called Kaboom, but either way, the Rocko's Modern Life series, that's 6 issues in. Actually it's only 5 to 6 issues coming out soon, but it's 5 issues in. I've read the first 4. That shit is fucking fantastic. It's like it's totally throwback to the old cartoon, and it's like a reboot into the modern age of what the characters would be experiencing now. It's 100% fantastic. Anything that you're reading currently that you'd like to recommend?
Well, besides Cable and
yeah, besides
Avengers,
Cable.
that's pretty much the Avengers as well. I'm reading that.
I have picked up
3
the
issues in.
current 2 Avengers.
Yeah, they released their 3rd issue a couple weeks ago. It's basically them getting the team back together. It's Cap, Stark.
Wait, no, I do have all 3. I do have all 3 Avengers. Yeah.
Yes, Cap, Thor, Iron Man, She-Hulk. Like the savage She-Hulk, where she's just like basically just angry.
Dude, she looks like a Hulk She-Hulk.
Yeah, it's like savage She-Hulk. They got a Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther. everyone's favorite Captain Marvel. Diversity Comics and Naster's favorite hero. Captain Marvel, she's in it.
Is she the leader?
I don't think they have a definitive leader. I don't think so, because like Stark is not really wanting to just call themselves the Avengers. It's just they're dealing with these Celestials that are just started falling from the sky, and like these giant bugs coming up from out of the earth that Black Panther and Doctor Strange had to fight, and Ghost Rider and Hulk had to fight them too, and then Stark, Cap, and Thor, and Captain Marvel were dealing with the celestial beings falling from the sky, and they're dead. But yeah, like millions of years ago, Odin and a bunch of other heroes from way back then dealt with the celestial. I think it was the first celestial, I think. But basically, Loki is orchestrating all this, and right now, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah.
You can spoil all you want.
Yeah, Loki's a part of it, being Loki, doing Loki things, basically orchestrating the whole thing. So now they got to save Cap. Where I'm at. I mean, that was the third issue. I won't say much more. Yeah, I've been reading that and Cable. Those are the two main ones I'm reading. Other ones I've like just starting. I don't know if I'll continue with Thor. I read that first issue.
I have the first issue with Thor. I haven't read it yet.
That was $5.99.
Domino. I know.
I read the first Domino issue. Wasn't nearly as bad as Nasser made it out to be. In the beginning, I see what people.
I have the variant cover too, with like the dog with the patch on its eye.
I have the one. Well, I got it on the app, so it's just a picture of her holding a gun. But in the beginning, I could see people were talking about like they just kept having her say what her power was. It's like, okay, we get it. We know what you can do. You have to keep saying it. So I get that. But actually, towards the end of the issue, it really wasn't that bad. I don't know if I continue it. I might get the next issue because the first issue kind of ended on a cliffhanger, just to see.
Well, that's how they're gonna do it. And Marvel does this fantastic thing in the beginning of all their books where they'll write out a synopsis of the last few things that happened, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how I can make sense of Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider 7 and 8 when I read those. So I read those because on the covers they had him fighting against Kane Parker, Scarlet Spider from the Ultimate Spider-Man universe. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I know ever since Secret Wars, the new Secret Wars, they've merged Earth 616 with Ultimate Earth, which is why we have like all these other characters from Ultimate mixed with into Earth 616. So then I saw those covers and I was blown away. So I bought them. I'm like, fucking boom. And I read them. I'm like, all right. So then I read the whole series, and now fucking Scarlet Spider. From where I'm at, I might be 2 issues behind. I have every current issue, but from what I've read, I might be 2 issues behind. From right now, they're crossing over with this Doctor Strange Damnation arc. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I gotta buy Doctor Strange Damnation, and I did. And I'm like, now I need to fucking buy Doctor Strange because I like this shit. But now Doctor Strange just rebooted into a new number 1. I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy it.
Yeah, they do that. They do too many reboots. I understand that gripe. I mean, like, I'm trying to catch up on Captain Marvel, but it's like her comments keep getting canceled, I guess. I don't know. People aren't buying it. There are a lot of complaints, I guess. I mean, I enjoy her as a character, but I think a lot of people write her off because it's Civil War 2. And, everyone's obsessed with her not looking like Miss Marvel days, where, the super sexy costume. But even though she has a better, more official look now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Her current costume.
Was she the bad guy in Civil War 2?
I mean, I guess you can look at it that way. It's just she's on the side to where basically want to punish them before they did the actual crime.
Because
And
like
it's like, you
technically in
can't
Civil
really.
War One, Captain America was the bad guy, but not necessarily. Like you could see,
Nah.
you could really see both sides because like at the end Tony Stark did win, but like I did not read any of Civil War Two, so how did that shit play out?
I actually didn't finish it, but I just know that basically Carol screwed up the whole time.
Yeah.
So. And now everyone pretty much writes her off, and I don't know. They just I don't know. They think she's just the epitome of the SJW thing.
What's to
Which
stop
I don't
them
think
from
it's totally
any
accurate.
type of like global or catastrophic disagreement from making them another civil war? What's to stop
Wait,
them
what?
from making multiple civil wars?
What, the Marvel or just the characters?
Marvel and the
What do you,
characters.
what do you mean though?
You know, because like we had Onslaught. That could have been a civil war. We had Age of Apocalypse. Like this is all X-Men related stuff, but it happened across the entire uh, Marvel universe. Well, we had the Atlantis attacks. We had that shit. That could have been a fucking civil war. You know, like all this stuff that happens, like all these major arcs that happen in the Marvel comics. What's to stop them from just claiming everything to be a Secret Wars or a Civil War? You know what I'm saying?
Them just fighting each other all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be stupid. Like, why are they heroes then? They're just fighting each other instead of the threats.
But, like, what was the point of making a Civil War 2, or they made a Secret Wars 2 back after Secret Wars 1, but then the most recent Secret Wars, that's basically Secret Wars 3. And, like, that was, like, what was the point of kind of, like, doing that, or whatever, besides merging Ultimate with Earth 616? Was it like
different events, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't call
Ultimate failing.
I mean, I wouldn't call everything a civil war. This is different events. You know, I mean, they just had disputes. I don't know.
Like I try to look at this as a business perspective. I know you don't. You look at it as a creative and fan perspective. I look at more stuff as a business perspective. But like, I kind of feel like they were trying to utilize these titles as a nostalgic cash grab when they could have just been their own separate events.
Well, you know, I mean, Civil War 2 came out around the time the Civil War movie was coming out as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, obviously, that's no coincidence.
That proves my point.
That's no coincidence. So, I mean, I just imagine, I don't want to say cash grab, but a second Civil War might have been a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
They could have done something else. I don't know.
They could have been doing something to like make the original Civil War comics like half off, or do some shit like that, or actually promote the original Civil War comics instead of trying to make a Civil War 2.
And also, you got to think they're getting ready to push Captain Marvel to the forefront in the MCU. Like, you have Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. They're all going out.
So they wanted to get people more familiar with Carol Danvers.
Yeah, they've been pushing Captain Marvel to the forefront of Marvel comics for a few years now, and she's always about to take the helm in the movies as well. A lot of people have a problem with it. I don't, because obviously I like Captain Marvel, but yeah, I think she was such a big factor in Civil War 2. They're just trying to give you more Carol Danvers, but I guess a lot of people aren't liking the character as much, so I guess the solution would be to, try to do better stories or whatever. But I mean, they're rebooting. They keep rebooting, and it's just no one's even. I don't know. No one's giving it a chance. Personally, I think she's a good character. I mean,
I have no problems with her character. The only thing I know of her is from Avengers Assemble cartoon when she took over as the leader for the new Avengers, and like she also had some awesome banter with Steve Rogers when she was first introduced in the show, where she like she's already had a relationship with Captain America that we weren't previously aware of, but they make it relevant into the series where like as soon as she comes across him, she's like, "Hey, Army," and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, hey, Air Force, what's up? Hey, how's it going?" So,
well, I mean, that's just that's playing up the whole the military thing.
yeah,
So they're both military, and that's pretty good banter because I imagine the different sort of sections of the military have this sort of banter as well.
yeah, yeah,
Like Army, Marines, Navy, they probably make jokes to each other. So it's probably something like that,
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it was really fun. But then
he's
in the cartoon when when the original Avengers end up like not being around anymore and the new Avengers got to take over, dude, it's fucking Captain Marvel, motherfucking Carol Danvers that fucking steps in, and she's with Black Panther, and Black Panther's all like, "No, dude, I should be the leader." Carol Danvers is like, "No, dude, fuck this shit, dude. I'm the motherfucking leader of this shit. This is how shit's going down." And she's kicking ass and taking names, and like, fuck, dude, I what is the problem with a motherfucker kicking ass and taking names, dude? I like her. She's awesome.
I mean, it's just I don't want to get too political with it, but it's just I don't know. They just don't like the character because I can't. It's hard to say. I mean, you just gotta look at people's different perspectives. They just don't. I don't know. They just don't like her. For some reason, I feel like the movie will help them like her a little more because it usually does.
Yo,
And I think Brie Larson is a fantastic actress.
I told you
like
about
her.
the guy
I
at
think
the
that was
vape store where he's all like, "Oh, Captain Marvel's gonna take over the fucking Avengers leadership roster."
Good. Who else? So think about it. Who else is gonna do that though? If you have Cap, probably gonna die. Stark may die, or he's gonna step down as Iron Man and just settle down with Pepper, or whatever. Thor, Hemsworth, he's pretty much done after this. Who else is gonna take the helm as leader? I mean, you can say Black Widow, okay, maybe, but who's to say she's gonna be around? Hawkeye's probably not gonna be around. Who else is gonna take the helm of leader of the Avengers?
I don't think
Black
Thor
Panther's
will die, but I also don't think Thor has like team. Thor has like cultural leadership.
Thor's that muscle that they need.
No,
He's not
like he also
necessarily a
has
leader.
like king and he can lead his country and he can lead his fucking his civilization, but I don't know if he can lead like a team of small people. Like.
I mean, he's their powerhouse, really. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the god of thunder. He's their powerhouse. He doesn't need to be the leader per se, but he is that powerhouse. So I mean, who else is gonna be the leader? She's just. You can say, okay, Black Panther. He's mostly gonna be Wakanda doing his thing, So I mean, I really don't see who else you're gonna use unless you just magically bring somebody else. But then who? I mean, they've been at it for 10 years. Robert Downey Jr. is like 52 years old. He's not going to play it Tony Stark forever.
Hawkeye doesn't even really want to be in the shit, but he has leadership potential. He doesn't even really want to be in the shit, though.
Hawkeye's retired, and he just came back. I mean, they're not going to make Ant-Man a leader. So I don't see a problem with Captain Marvel taking up that helm.
I don't either.
And leading.
I don't either.
And who's to say they're even going to have an Avengers team after this? Maybe they're just making different franchises. You can say Doctor Strange, okay, maybe. But, he's going to deal with it. It's going to be Captain Marvel. I think when the movie comes out, people will finally shut up about it. And then, okay, she's actually pretty cool. I don't think her comics are that bad. They could be better, but the current run is being written by an author I really like. Her name is Margaret Stoll. She wrote this series of books called Beautiful Creatures. I really like that series, one of my favorite book series. So she's writing Captain Marvel. But if you want to get into her, she just became Captain Marvel like 5 years ago, and Captain America is one of the guys that kind of convinced her to take up that name. Because she was just Miss Marvel for a while, and yeah, I think Kelly Sue DeConnick. That's who you want to start with.
So she was the original like Miss Marvel that like Rogue like took her powers and shit from.
Well, she was binary at that point, and then Rogue held on to her too long.
Yeah.
And basically absorbed all her power, and she's powerless for a while. And that's why Rogue can fly as like super strength.
Yeah.
She's binary at that point. So if you want to...
Dude, Brie Larson almost looked exactly like her.
She's a great choice. I mean, she's a really good actress.
I'm looking at pictures right now, dude. I got, like... There's, like, these cross comparisons, dude. Like, she almost looks... She's not as thick as they draw in Marvel Comics or whatever, but...
Well, originally, yeah, I think she's a really good choice, actually. I mean, I think she's also young enough to where they have longevity. She can play the role for the next 10 years if they wanted her to. Like, with Tom Holland's only, like, 20, 21. He got cast at 19. He can play Spider-Man for the next 10 or 12 years and be all
Tom
good.
Holland still looks like he's, like, 10 years old and shit, you know?
So. Yeah, he still looks about 15, 16 years old, which is how old Spider-Man's supposed to be. I think he's, like, 17 at Infinity War. Because it was, like, 2 years after in the time or whatever. So he's about 17 there. So yeah, Brie Larson's only like 28.
Yeah.
So she can play Captain Marvel for the next 10, 12 years and it'll be fine. Originally, my fan cast was Alice Eve. That was my original fan cast.
Who?
But then they announced Brie Larson. Alice Eve, she's
Alice?
You ever seen Alice Eve? Yeah. She was in the movie She's Out of My League. You ever seen that?
Nope.
Okay, what about... She was in one of the Star Trek movies. Who else was she in? She's in Men in Black 3. Some other stuff. If you just look her up real quick. She's my original fan cast.
No, dude, she's way too sexy.
I just think she was I just thought she would have been good in the role.
She's way too sexy to be a superhero.
A lot of people wanted Catherine Winnick. She would have been good. A lot of people wanted what's her name? That played Amunet in The Flash. She was up for it at one point. She was a name that would be tossed around. You know the woman in The Flash that played Amunet.
Yeah.
What was her name again? Shoot. Hang on, I'm looking it up. Katie Sackhoff. She was in the mix for a while. And a bunch of other people.
No,
but
she's too old.
Not really. Not really. You gotta think, she's an Air Force pilot. Air Force, a high ranking. I think she's pretty high ranking Air Force. I don't think age is the problem. But they came out with Brie Larson. I was like, okay, yeah, because her name had been tossed around like a little bit before they announced it. But I didn't know if they were gonna cast her, but then it was like she came out at Comic-Con. What was it, 2 years ago? At Comic-Con 2016, and they were like they had like Doctor Strange, they had Guardians of the Galaxy, they had Spider-Man: Homecoming and Black Panther. They had all four of them there at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Feige's like, they were about to take a group photo in Hall H, all four of those casts, And Kevin Feige's like, wait a minute, we should get everyone out here. You know, if we're gonna do a group photo, let's bring out Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson, and she's
Yeah.
already there. She's already there for Kong Skull Island. She's already there at Comic Con for that. So, yeah, they just brought her out.
Nice.
I said, all right, that's cool. I like that choice. And it's coming out. The movie's coming out on my cousin's birthday next year. I already told him, I was like, you know what? That is your birthday present. We're gonna go see Captain Marvel on your birthday. I'm buying a popcorn and a drink. That's your birthday present.
Hell yeah.
And a pan for your ticket.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a good present. IMAX,
Yeah, I just
right?
think.
IMAX.
Oh no, it's too expensive. We don't do IMAX. No. We'll pass on that one. But yeah, I think the movie will convince a lot of people differently, make them look differently. That's what usually happens. Like I even admit it happened to me a couple times. Like I was never the biggest fan of Captain Boomerang. I always thought he was stupid. But then Suicide Squad came and I saw the trailers. Okay, he actually looks pretty badass.
Suicide
And now I
Squad
don't really.
is completely underrated. It was.
I think it is underrated. It's very underrated. I don't understand why people hate it so much.
I think it was a really fun film, dude. It did what it was supposed to do. The ending was kind of underwhelming with the villain and shit, dude. Like where everybody's just doing their own thing one at a time. But like, I don't know, man.
Well, see, the villain should have been Joker, obviously, and he wanted to be the Joker. The director, David Ayer, he's like, he wanted the villain to be the Joker, or he should have stuck with that, or whatever. Which would have been fine, you know, or even Deathstroke. It would have been a good villain to have. But then they pulled this. I mean, Enchantress, okay, she's a little too OP for them, but whatever. They have this super obscure other villain that's been in like literally 4 issues in the entire DC universe as like one of the fights. So that I wasn't a fan of. I mean, I liked Enchantress. She wasn't bad, but I mean, I just think Joker should have been the main villain or Deathstroke.
That would have been way better.
And I'm not sure why they even thought about having Black Adam as the next villain. I was like, what are you doing?
That's what they're doing. Black Adam's to be the next villain for Suicide Squad.
Apparently they say he was gonna be the next Suicide Squad. It's like, what would he do with Suicide Squad? And how in the world would you try to contain him with some bomb in his head? Like that'd be like, come on now. Black Adam.
Black Adam would body the entire Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So it's like, but apparently he's not gonna be in it anymore. So I'm not even sure what they're doing with The Rock.
They just gave The Rock a bunch of money to do nothing, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, back to Captain Marvel. Sorry about that. But, yeah. I should make National go see it with this flying from Chicago. Ant-Man DNC. I'm going to be excited for that movie. Or I am excited for it. But I was excited as I was for Black Panther. Infinity War. Well, Black Panther means something different. So it's Infinity War. And it's going to be that one to, like, answer a lot of stuff. Cause, like, I'm pretty sure the end credit scene is going to be, like, her getting that page from Nick Fury on a pager. Remember before he got dusted?
Yeah.
He sent out that signal to her?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the end credits is going to be her getting that.
And then she just randomly appear in part 4. Where...
Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Oh man, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to see a fucking young Agent Coulson fucking doing his thing.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do the de-aging thing with him.
Yeah.
and a two-eyed Nick
he,
Fury.
he looks the exact same age as he did back when he was doing what's it face with Elaine from Seinfeld. New Adventures of Young Christine. Dude, he looks the exact same age when he was doing that show.
Well, that was like early 2000s, though, wasn't it?
I don't know, but either way, it's It's close enough to the 90s where he pretty much looks exactly the same as he has for like the past 10 years.
That came out in 2006.
God damn.
So I mean that's the 90s. Probably 10 years prior to that.
Yeah, they might have to de-age him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they already said they were. So. And Nick Fury had 2 eyes.
Yeah, we'll have a 2-eyed Nick Fury. We'll have.
They got Jude Law. He's probably just gonna kill him off in the same movie.
Jude Law needs to die in more movies.
He's gonna, because I mean, he's like Marvel, so he's gonna have to die.
Oh shit!
He's gonna have to die. So I imagine it's gonna be obviously in this movie. So.
Yeah, and then Guardians are gonna introduce Adam Warlock.
Yeah. And they're gonna have Monica Rambeau, who's also a version of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I think she goes by Photon right now, or she has a legit name. But basically, Monica Rambeau. Well, they haven't confirmed she's playing Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
But she's Monica Rambeau. Everyone knows it. I think right now she's going by Spectrum.
You can't go by Spectre. You gotta be Jim Corrigan.
No.
You gotta be fucking motherfucking Jim Corrigan to be Spectre.
Spectrum. Spectrum.
Spectrum. Okay. You gotta be mad there for a second because they almost tried to introduce Spectre in that
Constantine
season.
They were going to. I remember, but then it got canceled.
Oh my goodness, dude!
I think they were gonna do Etrigan the Demon too.
That'd have been fucking awesome. But he would. I don't know. I think he's too corny for live action because he always speaks in rhyme. And like I don't know, I think Etrigan was too corny for live action. He worked great in animation, but I don't know.
What else is coming out next year? Oh, well after that we get Shazam, 2019 in April, like a month later. So it's like you can have Captain Marvel and Shazam in theaters at the same time because obviously. Captain Marvel will still be in theaters a few weeks later.
God. So
like
they're still gonna do the fucking Captain Marvel fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause Shazam is the original Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna still do like, we'll put fucking Shazam out on the same fucking date as Captain Marvel because we're still petty.
No.
Oh.
No. Captain Marvel had that slate before that already. They already had that slate. Shazam came out. Was gonna come out that April. So no. And it won't confuse anyone because one is called Captain Marvel, the other is called Shazam.
Yeah.
And as much as people bitch about it, they'll still go see both movies. So it's it matters anyway. I'm certainly gonna go see both movies. I'm excited for both movies.
Yeah.
More excited for Captain Marvel. But,
I know you're a huge Captain Marvel fan. I know that. So.
One of the few that I know that actually enjoy Captain Marvel. So if you want to read it, you should start with Kelly.
I'm not excited for Shazam.
Tonio's back.
You better go see Tonio. I'm gonna send you guys Kelly Sue DeConnick run. Higher, further, faster, more.
I'm gonna go see Captain Marvel for sure, but I'm not gonna. I will probably go see Shazam. I'm just not gonna be excited for Shazam.
Why not? What do you
Just the way
actually what do you-
the way what's his name looks in the Shazam suit looks ridiculous and childish.
he looks exactly like Shazam should look like though. Like literally exactly
I know.
like Shazam.
I know, but like the padding makes it look ridiculous on him.
I mean, was that official though? Have we even got an official photo? Those are set photos.
We got set photos, and to me, he kind of looks like he should be playing Plastic Man instead of Shazam.
Nah, that's not him though. Like that guy normally plays serious roles.
Okay, we got one photo of him, like one official photo of him like drinking a giant soda or whatever. But
Yeah, I think that was it, and it's a faraway shot, right?
no, it's just honey, I'll post it in the chat. But yeah, here. I think that's the only legit photo we got that they released, but the rest were set photos.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna go still see it, but I'm not excited for it.
So like, look at Captain America. Those photos of him, they probably look very similar, but then it looks realistic when you see the movie, you know.
Well, the thing is that the padding on the Captain America's, even the set photos, they didn't look as ridiculous.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Those are just set photos. They'll add CGI to it as well.
Antonio, are you in a fucking quinceañera?
No, I'm in the car. My dad's driving. So yeah, that's why I wasn't like I didn't have anything like. That's why I had like myself muted because I was in the car. But I decided I would come in for at least Captain Marvel. But yeah, I'll still go see it. And I like the guy that's gonna be playing Shazam, Anthony Levi, right? That's his name, Anthony Levi. Hello?
I don't know who's playing.
What was that?
I don't know who's playing him. Jalen, are you here?
Yeah, that's not me though.
I know that's not you. That's Antonio's dad.
Yeah. So let me look up his name because it's gonna bug me. Also, guys, this is gonna make you laugh. Oh, Zachary Levi, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, guys, you're gonna laugh, but I was sleeping. I was sleeping this entire time until like I woke up while you guys were talking about Shazam and Captain Marvel.
Most disorganized podcast ever.
I need to take a nap. Fuck.
It's not like it's like I was listening to what you guys were saying, but at the same time I couldn't put anything in, so I was like I want to say something, but I can't, so I started like getting aggravated with myself, and then I just took a nap. So now I'm just thinking about it.
All I know is that Captain Marvel's gonna be great. People are gonna love it.
You and Marcus, man. Fucking Captain Marvel fan.
And it doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to be Wonder Woman for it to be an impactful movie.
Yeah.
I want that to be known as well,
She's
because
better
everyone's
than Wonder
saying.
Woman anyways.
Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, she's not nearly as good as Wonder Woman." She doesn't need to have the same doesn't have to have the same impact as a character who is literally the most iconic female superhero of all time.
I think Captain Marvel can body Wonder Woman, dude. Fucking.
No. Let's not get carried away. Let's not get carried away.
I don't know.
Wonder Woman is
They gave her power up.
Wonder Woman is a goddess. Wonder Woman is a goddess of war, though. She can literally control war.
You could, yeah, but like,
She can beat Thor. At this point, she can beat Thor. So, I mean,
Thor ain't shit.
Captain.
yeah, he is. At this point, she can beat Thor. Let's not get carried away. I love Carol. Obviously, I like her better than Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman would win the fight. That's just. But at the same time, they wouldn't even fight. They would team up. So I don't know why people always have to pit them against each other. It's like they wouldn't fight.
My point would have been that it would be a more even fight. I don't think it'd be like so like, oh yeah, Wonder Woman would win. I feel like that would be a hard match. It would be a hard match.
Like, I mean, it wouldn't be like a complete, one-sided fight like everyone wants you to believe, because they always say, "Oh, my favorite would destroy that character because such and such." It wouldn't be like that, obviously.
What I think they're gonna have a hard time doing with outside of like throwing Captain Marvel throwing her blast. I wonder how they're gonna do her energy manipulation powers.
Like absorbing it.
Yeah, like absorbing it and everything. Because I feel like they're gonna want to be able to visually show it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just a new thing that because like this is one of those characters where said we can like where they can show different types of power sets. I think they did say that back when they first announced it. Like one of the characters that has like a completely different power sets we haven't seen yet. They can explore how to show it. Everyone's pretty much more grounded. You have like Thor, you have Iron Man, you have all that.
Yeah, they have their own like little power sets.
Yeah, but hers is completely. Hers is like literally just like energy absorbing and everything. And even like the only person you see really flying is Iron Man, War Machine, and Thor. So this is the first character that's in Wasp now. This is the first character you're gonna see like just flying straight up,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange flies.
Barely.
They did good with Doctor Strange. That was different. That was super trippy. That was super trippy. But I imagine, like, in this movie, you probably won't see a lot of it early on. Maybe more in the second. I don't know. Maybe more in the third act. I'm not sure. But you really probably see it because they're gonna want her. They're gonna want to show her really taking it to Thanos. So obviously, you can see a lot of it there. I don't know. That music.
It's my dance music.
What are they saying?
I have no idea. I'm not paying attention.
Oh my goodness. That's like really upbeat and exciting.
What are they saying in your music? Sí. Wendy, dile qué está diciendo mi música. ¿Qué está diciendo la música de mi papá? ¿Ah? ¿Quieres que baje tu ventana? ¿Quieres que baje tu ventana? Alright, yeah, he's not telling me. I like how this nigga went from English to speaking Spanish back to English.
That's fine.
Just to talk Just talk to who?
I can understand some Spanish.
One of my friends, because he can hear the music that you're playing, and he's like, "What's playing? What are they saying?" Playing Mexican music. Oh yeah, I said that already. You wanna know what it's saying? All right. The gist of it is It's called corridos, and all they normally talk about is
How do you say it?
corridos.
You hear like, yeah.
And normally what they talk about is drugs and drinking and women, right?
It's like hip
No,
hop.
what else do they talk about?
It's like
All right, my dad
mariachi
says they
hip
talk
hop.
about it. It's not technically, but I wouldn't say hip hop.
Yeah, it's got that mariachi style to it.
Ah, shit.
But I
Yeah.
gotta end this episode of the 1 year anniversary of Timone Show. I gotta do some stuff. It was a pleasure having you guys on. Zachary was on too. It was a pleasure having him on earlier. Uh, Thank you guys for coming on to the show. It's always a pleasure having you on. We just shot the shit about some just nerdy extravaganzas.
Yeah, anytime.
Oh man, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
You guys are always a pleasure to have on. Always make
I
sure to
probably get
like.
time. I fall asleep for a third time in a row.
You can fall asleep as much as you want because we record for hours and that's what we do. Everyone, make sure to
Oh
like
shit.
and subscribe. And oh my god, I get the hiccups. Ugh. They're bad. Bad. I got the hiccups. Bad. All right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Do all that. And
Oh wait, can I do the outro?
yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Oh, I already fucked up. Oh, man.
What, you gave up?
Yeah, I give up. I can't do it.
All right. So just tune in. Tell all your friends and family about the Timone Show. Like, we just shoot the shit. We don't have any sort of relevance of anything to talk about, anything we talk about, but we do, and we love it, and we love you for listening, for the few listeners we have, and man, just man, Tim Wiener's where it's at, dude. Check out the dog walking tutorial I uploaded the other day. That was really fun.
And go see Captain Marvel
Go
on
see
March 8th,
Captain Marvel in theaters.
2019.
Go see Ant-Man
March
and the
8th,
Wasp in
2019.
theaters. Go see I don't know. Go see whatever DC movies come out in theaters. I know Aquaman's coming out sometime soon.
December.
Yeah. But yeah.
Support Star Wars.
We'll check you guys next week when Zachary and I conclude our Boku no Hero versus Boruto debate. When I'm on Team Boruto, he's on Team My Hero.
And I'll be making a special guest appearance.
Yeah, Tonio should be able to make it on there. I will probably recording next Sunday.
And I'll shit on Boruto.
All right. We'll see you soon. Thank you guys for listening.